Yeah, and as you're coming out, it's sort of the caves sort of give way, and there's actually there's a brief overhang of stalactites, and as you're coming out, the sun's hitting it, and it looks like a giant glowing heart as you pull out into this jungle, this mountainous
And we're
terrain.
silhouetted perfectly against it.
You look
And we hear
exactly.
Celine Dion.
You actually look exactly like the cover of the romance novel that we discussed, the Tusk Love book. There,
Oh,
that's
nice.
exactly what you look like.
Nice.
All right, and so suddenly your peaceful entry into the overworld is broken by this shrill shriek, and I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh, fuck.
As you see a throng of
Oh, I don't want to
tiny
roll an
apes.
18 right now. All right.
that are these tiny apes on the shore that are all throwing rocks at you. And they're
I
hitting
got a
the side
10.
of the boat, but as you're getting closer, the rocks are getting
apes.
closer. Arianth 10.
15 for Tohan.
Tohan 15. Herb.
You got 3. She's
Mac-
taking a nap, I guess.
Maggie got 3. Okay. And let's see. So I just need Vanadia's, right?
18.
Hmm.
Where should we pretend that Gilly and Valk are hanging out right now?
We will say that they are below decks right now because that should give them about enough time to finish their meal and come up.
Mm-hmm.
If they're here by 7:30. or so.
We never took a long rest or anything either, right? Like,
You
this
did
is all the
not.
same day.
Yep.
We
We
had one
went down to
short
the
rest.
Yawning Portal Tavern,
Yeah.
made it to Skullport, and then now we're coming back.
Yeah. I think we had a
Okay.
short rest when we,
Got on the boat.
yeah, there was
Alright.
that slime guy or whatever.
Yeah, you guys did you took a short rest because you had you had some time before the boat left, I believe, right?
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
statue, after we put the head on the statue, and then there was a
Oh yeah, that at that point we had a short rest, and then
That
also
slime
before
monster.
the boat.
oh, okay.
So we've had 2 short rests in this entire period.
All right. So let's see. For right now, we'll say Vanadia, you are up first.
Okay. I want to shoot these fucking monkeys with my crossbow. All right, so I got a 14.
14. All right, let me get their stats up here. Well, you guys can't see me, but we're doing this analog for the monster stats because I've got everything out of the monster manual tonight. So I'm like flipping
Cool.
pages in the book.
Old school.
Should get a contact mic on the book so that the page flipping comes through. Book mic.
Let's see. You said you got a 14 that hits.
And we got a 5.
Okay. All right.
5 piercing damage.
You are able to hit one of these angry stone throwing apes. They're like somewhere in between like a Neanderthal and an ape, something looking kind of like that, very Bigfootish. Let's see who was up next. It would be Tohan, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna rage and throw a couple javelins, I guess. Because I got a bunch. So that's a 25 to hit on the first one,
That's a hit.
and then a 26 to hit on the second one.
Okay. Same ape or different ape? I don't want to call them monkeys. I gotta stop calling them monkeys because I'm gonna get like
Sorry.
bothering myself.
All right, so the first one does 9 damage. And I was aiming for the one that Vanadia just hit with the crossbow, and I was going to aim for a different one with my second one.
Okay.
So 9 damage to the one that Vanity already hit, and 5 damage to the second one.
All right, first one looks bloodied. Second one gets hit. And a
Shoot, I
javelin's
screwed up.
sticking out of
I
his
forgot
leg.
that I have 2 attacks now. Oh well. I'll remember that next time.
I do it all the time in Bill's game. I constantly forget stuff. I'm like, oh shoot, I should have done this thing.
Yeah.
Let's see, who's up next? Would be Arianth.
Alrighty. I will cast Firebolt at the second one that Tohan hit.
Okay.
Got an 8 to hit.
8 to hit is a miss.
Alas.
Is the boat stopped right now? Are we like continuing to get further? Or
The captain seeing this is he started backing off on the throttle of the boat, we'll say, and so the boat's kind of slowly coasting past. Like the boat's kind of doing one of these things where it's like, maybe get it to kind of move. It's like moving, maybe 5 feet every couple of seconds.
Okay. Do we want him to speed up just so we can get away from these weirdos? Or
Either speed up or go over there. Honestly.
yeah, I wanted to jump out or just like move on.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's get through the first round here. So Firebolt was a miss. Maggie, you are up.
How far are we from the shore?
Maybe 15. Let's say you personally are 5, 10, 15, 20 feet from the closest one of these guys.
Okay.
30 feet from the farthest.
She'll cast Toll the Dead on whichever is, I don't know, one of the ones that's got damage.
Okay. That's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
20.
Oh, wisdom 16, so that's not going to work.
This is one really smart ape. This ape's like, nah, dude.
It's a really wise ape.
Right.
His name's Cornelius.
Might as well. I'll cast Spiritual Weapon. Might as well. Why not?
Okay. Let's see. That you can move that on the first turn too, right?
It's the bonus action attack, and then I can move it on bonus actions after that.
Okay. All right. So we will say, yeah. I mean, you could move it over to him then, right?
Yeah, I can cast it within 60 feet, so it's...
Oh, okay. So you're gonna make it appear by them. Gotcha. Right. That's right.
Yep.
All right.
So melee spell...
Slap him silly.
Where's my... There it is. All right. So that's 25. Assume that hits.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 damage.
Okay. So this guy right here goes goodbye bye. All right. And at this, suddenly the bushes all around these apes start rattling, and you start hearing them get more and more worked up and doing their ape noise, And out of the bushes storms this guy. Bloop. He is a much
big ape,
larger, much more ferocious looking ape. Lets out a giant growl. Like this guy's like, he's not King Kong, but he's like maybe the Duke Kong or something. He's lower down on the chain.
Prince Kong.
Yeah.
I yell to whoever's controlling to speed it out the boat to speed it up, get a move
Yeah.
on.
It's double time.
So, let's see. So let me grab his stats out here. Giant 8 is 223. There's that page flapping for you guys again. Okay, so he immediately takes a large boulder, giant rock, we'll say, launches it towards the center, towards Maggie, Valk, and Guilfoyle. And first I'm gonna see. We'll see who he's actually gonna wind up picking. Foil, so. Oh, I don't like bringing up. Change the dice I'm using here. Alright, so a rock whizzes over the top of Guilfoyle's head. And I mean, this is like a good sized, like, river boulder. Something that would have taken his head probably clean off. The other four of them continue their attacks. Right, 2 hits. So we'll say Venetia. What's your AC?
16.
Okay. Okay, I got an 18. And we'll say Maggie. What's your AC?
18.
And I got a nat 1 on that one. Damage
Nice.
wise, it's just a thrown rock. These guys are the small guys. So Venetia, you take 2 damage. 2 bludgeoning damage. And yeah, the boat continues to kind of move forward. Let's see if I can get the map to move forward here without giving you too much of a hard time. See, the problem is that the boat and the map I just pulled off from online. Like, yeah, it's a boat in a river, cool. But the boat's not separate from the actual map, so we'll say by now. Instead of this, we'll do it this way. I've got an ulterior method here, alternative method. We'll say the boat is now this far. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
So that's like the center of the boat?
Yeah, it's you guys are cruising by at about 15 feet away from the shore, basically, from these guys. Mm-hmm. But he this is per 15 seconds, we'll say, for each of you. So top of the initiative again. I think that comes back up to Venetia.
All right. I was wondering, did I get a reaction on that attack?
Yeah, at the end of their
Like
turn, yeah.
Alistair.
Yeah, since you're next, yeah, you're still in the initiative order. You can take a reaction.
Yeah, I was gonna do a Hellish Rebuke.
Nice.
All right. Where did that? So I don't know. I clicked use, but I'm not sure. Didn't prompt me for anything after that.
Let me find my phone and I'll grab Hellish Rebuke. I'll look at it for a second here. Hi, Bob.
Oh, I see. Okay, I think I see where I clicked now. That was just kind of for me to check that it was used. I got the roll here, so
It should be some kind of saving throw on that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
It says,
dex saving throw. So what's your spell?
yeah, it's dexterity. It's a dexterity 14.
19.
Dang. All
Half,
right.
Half of 2d10. So roll me your damage and let me know what he's taking.
That would be 10.
Okay, so 10 halved, right?
Yep.
Okay. 5 points. And that was the big guy, right? Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was one of the little guys, right? Yeah.
Oh, is that who hit me? Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the small guys that hit you.
Oh, right. Okay.
We will say that was that one.
And so then it would move to my turn after that.
Yes. Now it starts your turn.
All right. I'm going to fire 2 crossbows using my extra attack at the big dude. All right. So I got a 9. I assume that's a miss.
That is a miss.
And I got 21 with the bonus.
That is a hit.
Okay. All right, that's 2 for damage.
It just grazes over his head. It like parts his hair down the center of his head, and like just leaves like a scratch down the center of his head. He just lets out a bellow, like like one of those oh shit moments, and like he's a big boy. He's beefy. All right, Tohan.
Tohan's going to throw the flask of oil he just bought down in the Underdark here at the big one,
Nice.
and yell for Arianth to send another firebolt his way.
Right,
Will do, I yell back.
So I don't know
Let's see.
what kind of.
Thrown weapon. Just make me an attack roll, either strength or dexterity.
I can just do an unarmed attack if you want.
Yeah. So I mean, it's same thing. I think. Plus your strength bonus.
21 to hit.
That hits. So
Sorry.
the oil shatters and breaks all over this like a rock that this guy's on. He just gets all over him.
And I'll take that out of my. Okay. That's my turn.
Bump set. Let's see. Who was up after Tohan? Would have been Arianth.
Alright, I go to send firebolt at the big one.
Alright.
That
Volk.
would be a 21.
Volk, you come upstairs at this point, and you see that your comrades are on the deck of the ship where you guys were taking the lock system back out to the city of Waterdeep, and you realize that they're fighting several large ape creatures on the shore. Jen, you said 21?
Yep.
That's a hit.
Alright, and that would be... 8 damage.
That was on the big guy, right? Alright. Maggie.
He should catch on fire from the firebolt and the
Oh, yes,
the oil.
that's correct. It's the soaked oil. So we will say, go ahead and roll me 2d10 fire damage for him.
2d10.
Yep, as he bursts into flames.
Is that the would that be the third one down?
I don't know because I don't have D&D Beyond open right now. Fourth one maybe?
That's an 8.
Should be 4, 6, 8, 10.
Alright, so I think that's it. We'll find out. Oops. Oh, that would not be the correct one.
You rolled 2 D100s.
I think it's the third one down in D&D Beyond.
Third one down, thank you. That's what I initially thought. There's 1. Sorry, I meant to do 2. 1 plus 8 total. Oh no, sorry,
Wow.
2 total. Ouch.
So 10 total damage.
Yeah. But he's still on fire.
He is on fire, and he will remain on fire for... cock dice. 3 rounds.
Hopefully it makes him want to jump in the water.
Right.
So for the next 3 rounds of combat, he will take that same damage. We'll say on your turn, Jen.
Cool.
So remember that when that comes up, because I might not. All right, Maggie.
With her bonus action, she'll hit the big guy. So, let's see, what is that? 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
Cool. And 8 damage from the frying pan.
Okay.
And then she'll cast the guiding bolt as well, which is 26 to hit.
That's also a hit.
And 15 damage altogether.
All right. So this ape is enraged on the shore, and he's, he stands 15 to 20 foot tall, probably 10 foot wide. He's a big boy when he stands. He comes up to his full height. He starts pounding on his chest, doing the old crazy Tarzan ape yell. Volk. You kind of come up the stairs from having a quick meal with your friend Guilfoyle, and you just see this giant ape creature and 4 other apes surrounding him, and they're all throwing these rocks and boulders at the boat. What would you like to do?
Well, I dropped the orange peel that I'm eating. How far away are these creatures?
Right now you're just starting to pass them. Like the boat in the picture, assuming that everybody is staying put where they are on the boat, the tip of the boat is where the red X on the screen is, if that makes sense.
Okay. And each square is approximately how many feet?
Right around 5 feet or so.
Oh, these guys are well within range.
They're pretty close.
Okay. And if they approach us from the shore, they're going to end up in the ocean, right?
Yeah, this big, really deep river that's kind of coming up from underground that is leading you guys back up into the mountains near Waterdeep.
Cool. I'm going to cast command.
Okay.
How bloodied are these guys that I can tell?
The big guy is been hit with several things, but he still looks like he's got a lot of fight left in him. There is one dead ape, small ape, laying on the shore, and one small ape that has been bloodied to a point of looking pretty wounded. The other 3 of those apes look like they're fairly healthy still, like nothing's happening.
I'm going to try to target the big guy and one of the healthier looking apes. Casting command. So these guys, I'm going to say approach to try to get them to jump in the river.
Okay. Is a wisdom save for these guys, right? Or no?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your spell save DC?
It's a wisdom save of 13 on the spell. Where would I find this spell save DC? Sorry.
Oh, it says a wisdom save of 13. Usually your spell save DC is on the top section of your spells. By like your spell attack modifier.
No, the spell attack is +5.
Okay, so that's
+2 modifier, 13 save DC. So
okay, so +5 to a 13 would be an 18. So he does not make this, and he begins to immediately approach the ocean along with, we'll say, this guy who pushes past his wounded friend. And on their turn, that will be what they are commanded to do. Nicely done, sir. Let's see. Still no bill as of yet. This brings it to these guys' turn. So let's see. So giant ape splashes down into the river along with this guy here. The other three kind of are just looking at them and starting to look kind of confused, and they continue to throw rocks. So let's see. Eeny, meeny, chili, beanie. Who are they throwing at right now? Val. Does a 17 hit you?
Nope.
Okay. A rock pings off the captain's head and kind of falls to the deck for a moment, stunned. Just tucks down behind the wheel, but keeps going straight. Arianth. I'm assuming a 6 does not hit you.
It does not, thankfully.
Alright. So that one whizzes by. The two that jumped in the water are kind of beginning to flail around because apes don't swim particularly well. But they are still making a slow and steady progress towards you, we'll say. So they are now... This guy is there. And this guy is about there. So he's just off the edge of the boat. And that'll bring it back up to Venadia. You are now staring roughly 5 feet down from the bow of this boat, looking down into the eyes of this giant, like 15 to 20 foot tall ape monster.
How far is the boat moved at this point? Because, I mean...
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. The boat would be another 5 feet forward, too. I'm still looking at this map all cockeyed here. So it would actually be looking at you, Arianth. Look, you would be looking down from the stern of it.
Lovely.
All right, so then if we move to that point, then I'm not within striking distance with any melee weapons, right?
No, but you could get there. It's from the front of the boat to the back of the boat is 30 feet, roughly.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'd move to the belly there on the starboard side, I think. So if I use my bonus action of 2-weapon fighting and I have an extra attack, I don't have an extra bonus action, right? So it would be like 3 attacks?
I believe that the 2-weapon fighting means that you don't get a disadvantage on your offhand weapon, because normally you would get like a disadvantage for using your offhand. Like 2 2 attack actions would be for like your primary attack hand if you were not dual wielding. But I believe that if you have the dual wielding feature, you can make an attack with your right hand, let's say, and then make an attack with your left hand at no disadvantage. That's how I understand it to work.
But what I'm saying is that now that I'm level 5 and I have an extra attack, I would only get, it would be a total of 3 attacks, basically, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like I would use, like for example, my scimitar and then my short sword, and then for my extra attack, it would be a scimitar attack again.
Yeah, because it would be like attack, action, bonus action, or whatever.
Okay, I got it. All right, thank you. Cool. All right, in that case, now that I'm near this big dude, I'm going to swing at him, scimitar, short sword, and then scimitar again.
Okay.
All right, so we got an 8, and then
8 is miss.
13.
13 hits.
And so it's a 13 with a short sword and a 13 with a scimitar.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh.
Just the sound of the computer, huh?
Ouch. All right, scimitar for 7 and the short sword for
Also
3.
Guiding Bolt says the next attack roll made against the target before the end of your next turn has advantage. So I don't know if that's just Maggie's attack, or I guess I assume that means other people's attack.
Yeah, it would be other people's attacks as well, I think. Kind of like, like you'd get like a blast of light that goes out to the guy and kind of illuminates his chest or something, like, hey, hit here.
Yeah, but I think Venadia gets advantage.
Venadia gets advantage. Then I guess I would just roll again for that scimitar that missed.
Okay. I mean, unless you, yeah, re-roll your second dice for all of them because you might crit on those too.
Oh, okay.
So if
Good
you
point.
crit on any of them, I'll just double it.
All right. So that's 16 plus 4 for 20.
Okay, so it's one
And
more
then-
hit.
That's 19. And then 12.
Okay, so,
So
no,
I
more,
guess-
no more crits. But your first one was
And no crits, so it's a one more hit with the scimitar, basically.
I heard you did 7 with the scimitar the first time. I didn't hear what the short sword was.
Let me look. Sorry, one sec. That last one was a 5. So we got 7, 5, and 3.
Okay. Awesome. So as he's reaching up for the side of this boat, you're like chopping down on his arm, like hitting this big giant hand coming at you, just chopping it
Oh,
away.
yeah. You better believe it.
Nice. All right, Tohan.
So I have a axe of giant slaying, and it says for the purpose of this weapon, giant refers to any creature with giant type.
Absolutely.
Would this be a giant ape?
This is a giant ape indeed.
Cool. I am going to attack it recklessly with Great Weapon Master.
Nice. Say anything cool to it?
Ooh, and that's a nat 20.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm about to double a shitload of dice here. Yeah. I'm about to go bananas.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay, here we go. So that is 26 plus Oh, I get to double those dice too. 26 plus 11 more, so 37 damage on the first attack.
Okay, he is bloodied.
I'm going to attack him again. Great Weapon Master, recklessly. And that is another natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
So that is 33 plus... 13 more, so 46 more damage.
Jesus.
So 37 and
Legendary.
46.
That was fucking crunchy, dude.
Yeah, I feel like Tohan feels the same way about giant apes and Maggie feels about necromancers.
Right.
All right, the giant ape goes from being bloodied to very bloodied. Which is funny because
Yeah.
before that, every bit of damage was like somewhere between 2 and 5, and then you're like, here's like 89 damage.
Yeah.
And,
Every
Well,
party
but
needs-
I did roll 2 natural 20s there too, so...
yeah, and also now it's drowning too, so that you got that going for it because it hasn't been able to reach the boat, and it just got the shit kicked out of it.
But hey, at least it's not on fire, right?
So, as this large ape is slowly sinking down into the water, Arianth, what would you like to do?
How deep is he in the water? I mean, how many feet would it take to bring him under?
We'll say that he's probably sticking out of the water by about 6 feet, and that's from his like mid chest up to including his upraised hand. That's kind of sticking up. So he's in the oh shit I'm drowning position. He's got like 2 fingers up, you know. Goes down, comes up with 3 fingers up. It's in the public pool lifeguard training duty thing.
So, say if I was to use mold earth right under him and to move another 5-foot deep cube out from under him, where would that leave him?
5 feet deeper, probably.
I mean, would it make it so that he would be unable to do things, or would he
Well,
still?
Yeah, I mean, he would be underwater at that point, so he'd be incapacitated. I mean, at this point, this ape is probably... I gotta ask, Valk, how long does your command last for?
Give a sec.
I want
I
to say
think it
it's
might
like
be.
1 hour, isn't it? It's
I
like
think
Uh,
it stops when you
It's
do
one
damage.
round. It's one round.
oh, it is just
So-
1 round for command. Okay, I thought it was longer.
I
than
think
that.
it goes away when you do damage, doesn't it?
That's also possible. Okay, so we will say, yeah, if you want to use Mold Earth, he will be under the water and you will not see him anymore. He will be blooped.
Do it. Incapacitate him.
Okay.
And that's just something I do at will, so there's no rolling or anything
Yep.
involved.
It doesn't specify, by the way, on the spell, but I would imagine that doing damage would probably stop the approach action. I mean, or it just lasts the entire round, like he just mindlessly just approaches. It doesn't say that an attack. It does not specify that an attack stops the action. So
You're right, yeah.
assume that it's just he's walking towards the ship for one full round.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, so basically I move the muck from under the big one and I throw it at the little ones. How about let's do that since I have the ability to deposit it up to 5 feet away.
Okay, yeah. And this little one that's in the water, he's now kind of being swept away too. With between the muck and the other stuff, he's like. Let me make sure that I get the right one here. Bloop. Yeah, pick the right one. All right. And at this point, these other three that are on the shore are kind of, they're all scratching their asses and looking at you guys like, whoa, where did the big guy go? And they all kind of begin to. They just sort of scatter off into the bushes up to the northern side of the map here. And yeah, that's the only events that really happen between your travels. And we'll say that I don't know how easy it would be to zoom in here. Where'd my red X go? Let's move you down. Just ignore this stuff for 1 second here. Move some layers. The red X up. Come on. Come on, mouse. Do your job. There we go. Okay, there's my red X. My improvised marker. I recreated the mouse cursor. I'm so proud of myself. So you guys are probably somewhere around there when you come out. That's a really bad little red X, but you're in these the edge of these mountains just north of Waterdeep, having traveled a few miles maybe, and the ship is able to easily bring you back down the coast towards the city of Waterdeep. That's perfect timing. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
What up?
Hey, I'm not muted anymore. Hey, maybe my camera works again. I had to get a new camera because mine died.
That's no good.
How are the puppies?
Very, very good. They slept almost the entire time, but what was supposed to be done by 7 took till just now, so it was a little long. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
No messes.
As long as Robert is still allowed to show up to the Tuesday games at 6:30 instead of 6, or 7 instead of 6:30.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that works.
No worries. In true Guilfoyle fashion, I assume that you kind of arrive from the downstairs of the ship that you were just on. Here, I'll flip back to the thing for a moment here. So this is where you guys just were, and these guys just defeated a giant ape Velk, commanded it to take a step off the steep bank into the fast-rushing river that you guys were in, and then Arianth drowned him with a lack of earth underneath him. It's quite clever.
A lack of earth underneath him?
Yeah,
Okay.
she used mold earth and
Tohan
moved
beat
the
the
earth
crap
from
out of him.
underneath him. Yeah, Tohan beat but 2 nat 20s in a row on this giant ape.
Yeah, like 89 damage or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay,
it was
nice.
a lot. Yeah, and after that, you guys are you're able to kind of uneventfully proceed the rest of the way down past the coast to the city of Waterdeep. Speaking of which, let's see if we can't add our Waterdeep map back onto our thingy thing here.
So what's the plan here? Are we gonna go talk to the nobles to try to like raise an army against Malachi?
Yeah, we want to approach the nobles, right? I mean, that's the whole reason for the power stone.
Well, we were going to talk to the Black Staff about using the Power Stone in one of those gates, I think.
Right.
But I think we can get an audience with the lords and the black staff all at once to try to
Yeah.
settle this all up. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
like that.
So the first place that you guys wind up is back at the dock ward, and of course, the first place that I would assume you would go would be back to the yawning portal because it's nearby, and that's where you have, your rooms and stuff. And as you get back there, you actually are stopped by two members of the city watch, who tell you, the one asks you for your name. Do any of you lie about it? We'll say about what your name is.
Ask for what?
Yeah, what happened?
They ask for your name.
Our name?
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
I
Lydia has to
immediately
lay
give
low.
mine. I immediately give mine.
Okay.
Maggie will kind of step in front of Venadia too and try to, introduce herself and keep Venadia hidden.
Okay.
Or not hidden, but distract from her presence.
Okay.
I
Make a
also step forward to kind of cover Lydia.
All right. I'll have both of you roll deception checks, and I'll just do it. I'll combine it to make it an advantage. One roll at advantage to see if they notice her.
I got an 11.
You got
What do I
a
grab
20.
with the advantage.
I got 21.
21. Okay. So yeah, you guys are you do the old shoulder to shoulder, like, oh hey, how's it going, guys? And you're able to kind of conceal Venadia from view. Valk, you answer immediately. The city guard reads through a list of names quickly and realizes that you're one of the people on that list and says, okay, I need you to report, please, to Blackstaff Tower immediately, if you would. The Blackstaff Vajra and the Lord of Waterdeep, Lariel, they wish an audience with you and your associates. This guy looks kind of nervous. He's kind of young. He's maybe in his 20s. He's not like a regular beat cop. He looks like he's maybe more like a messenger for these guys. Kind of part of his training.
What time is it at this point?
We will say it is. Let's see. You guys left mid-morning. Probably spent most of the day going down through Undermountain. And then the return probably would bring you back to near dawn. So you guys have been up now for probably close to 20 hours. And you're covered in this kind of sewer muck stink from being down in this nasty pit.
Yeah. I think Maggie's going to make a case for, they basically say that, and that they respectfully ask that they need a rest.
Yeah, we got to blow the stink off us.
Yeah. Agreed.
That we wouldn't want to disrespect the Lord with our current state.
Well,
How bad do I smell?
Roll me.
Well, you weren't actually with those guys when they went into the sewer section, the gross sewer room. So you probably
Cool.
wouldn't
Okay.
be as
Yeah.
bad.
I'm not going to approach the Lord smelling like a dump. So
All right, I take a couple cool down and give it to the guard and be like, tell him he didn't find us for a few hours, will you? And then I guess we head out to the Yarning Portal.
Yeah, the guard kind of looks at the coins and puffs his chest up for a minute. And he says, "Are you trying to bribe the city guard?"
But it's a tip for your good service.
never mind.
He looks at you and kind of almost like he doesn't believe you, and then he hands the 2 gold back and he says, "I'm sorry, sir, we're not allowed to take tips. Thank you, though."
Right then.
He says, "We will expect you at Blackstaff Tower At your earliest convenience, I will tell the mistress of your plight, he says. And he turns around on his heel and he kind of tromps off. Like he's all like, ugh. Gets this like kind of grumpy attitude when he walks away. So you guys headed back to the yawning portal?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see my dog Munley.
So you get back and as you enter, the place is actually fairly busy right now. It's breakfast time, we said, right?
Yeah, he said before dawn. So
Yeah, so like it's like early breakfast time. So this is a lot of the people
First
that
breakfast.
yeah, a lot of the people that would be like opening shops and things are like local like people are in here just grabbing like a probably some pastries that got brought from a bakery or something. Maybe people trading even a few wares inside of the of the yawning portal itself. Probably people bringing Durnan his breakfast and things. And all of Durnan's helpers probably bringing out the morning fare, setting it all up. Something kind of nice.
What does Durnan eat for breakfast?
3 eggs over easy and 2 large sausages.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a Maggie meal.
Probably some home fries too. Probably some home fries as well.
Oh yeah.
Is there any gruel?
He's got gruel. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take a big bowl of gruel.
Eggs are too fancy.
One silver for
Wait.
or actually we'll say 1 copper for a bowl full of gruel. Gruel is cheap. It's just pretty much flour
Does
and water.
Durnan put salt in his gruel?
Yeah,
he
he
season
does.
it?
He absolutely does. Yes.
Ooh, sorry. Sorry, Bob.
Salt it right.
I take 1 spoonful and I shake my head but I still pay him the copper. Salt is too flavorful.
Nice. So yeah, he just kind of looks at Valk for a minute, like, okay. Says, so how was your adventures in Undermountain?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you find any
About
of those
what you'd
power
expect.
stones you were looking for?
We found some stuff. How about some food
I asked-
first?
Yeah, I asked Durham if I could trade a mending spell for a full breakfast.
Absolutely, yeah. He points out some of his curtains that were recently set on fire by somebody trying to show off for one of their lady friends. Like,
I mend his
this is a college town, so there's crazy stuff that goes on sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I mend some curtains and eat some breakfast.
All right. Assuming all of you are able to have something to eat, kind of take at least a short rest here.
I order the usual.
Okay, are you guys looking to do a long rest right now?
Probably, right? Long rest first, then wash up.
At least a bath, right? Like,
I think a long rest is probably.
I mean, it's been 20 hours.
Yeah, you guys,
You know what I mean?
are at the risk of suffering the first level of exhaustion again.
Doesn't seem like
You
the best
probably
way to
wanna be
present a really compelling case to someone.
Yeah.
We want to be on the top of our game when we go talk to these people.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all able to get in a full meal, and then Durnan kind of chuckles when you ask for your rooms. He says, "Yes, nobody else has taken them since you guys have last had them. Actually, you guys would have paid for your rooms. You would already have rooms. You don't need to pay for those at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll say other than the gruel, everybody's able to get a full meal for a silver piece, with the exception of Arianth, who uses her mending ability and barters for it. Unless anybody else wants to barter some service to Durnan.
I don't know. I could sharpen his kitchen knife or something.
I subtracted 5 silver pieces. That's fine.
I don't have time for this. Just throws 5 silver down.
It's fine, guys.
Alright, so you guys
I sharpened his kitchen knife anyway.
you all retire to your respective rooms. Anything that you guys are looking to do before you go to sleep?
Take a bath and maybe give Munley a bath and feed him as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Clean up and pray.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Maggie's
bathe in the
check
morning.
in- Maggie's gonna check in with her like orc followers and kind of pray with them, and just find out what's been going on up there. I guess she'll also send sending spell to Never Remember to kind of find out from his perspective, like what's going on up there, and I guess just let them know that they're going to talk to the Lords of Waterdeep.
Okay. So let's see. Thing one was you're going to send a message to your orcs, right? Like,
Yeah,
what-
through the sending stone, just kind of
now,
rise and shine.
Yep, if I remember correctly, your orcs and Valk's orcs are both still in the northern area, somewhere south of Neverwinter, and they were on the hunt for the dragon Cryovane, or whatever the stupid name was.
Edgelord.
Yeah, Edgelord the dragon. So when you send them, you would actually use your stone probably to contact them.
Right. Right.
So they tell you that they have successfully got this dragon pinned down in a cave in the East Neverwinter Woods. They've got support coming from more Orc Marine forces, and they believe that they will be victorious in that endeavor.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, Maggie
This is
prays with them and gives them a few tips about making their own breakfast like hers.
okay. Go ahead and give yourself a good point for that, for taking care of your orcs.
All right.
Maggie's building them up. She's got a bunch. All right, Valk, you also pray, right? You said.
Valk did say.
Venedia, what would you be doing?
Who are you speaking to?
Sorry, Venedia?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Not anything. I don't think. Just crashing
kinda
out.
keep staying down.
Bathing in
low
the morning.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Arianth, you only need 4 hours of rest. Valk, that applies
Yeah,
to
so-
you as well, I believe, because we agreed that was
Yeah,
part
I got-
of your background.
Yeah, all I need is 4 hours of meditation for a full rest.
Okay. So
So
assuming,
I have a few things I was gonna do if that's okay.
assuming that you guys wake up 4 hours before the rest of the party does, it would be around noon or so. What would you like to do? We'll start with you, and then I'll do Valk.
All right. So in the free time I have, I wanted to see about putting together 2 invisibility potions, and as well as trading and mending and earth moving spells for some more ingredients and possibly some gold. And I want to learn more from my alchemy book.
Okay. We will say so. We'll say that we'll split it up into 3 things
hour for each?
basically. Yeah, about an hour. Yeah, it'd be 4 things at about an hour each. So really, the mending and the trading and stuff, we could kind of all roll that into 2 hours. We could say that you could do some services around for Durnan, any stuff that he needed fixed up, and he's probably very, very happy with you for this. Like, this place has seen a lot of action over the years, so even if he does his best to try to keep it up, it still gets beat to hell. So for that, he would pay you. We will say 110 silver pieces for various things that he had done. It's kind of, he says, sorry about all the silver instead of gold, but it's what I got for right now. It's roughly the equivalent of 11 gold pieces, basically, worth of silver. And as far as the 2 invisibility potions, let's see. We will say that you are missing 1 primary ingredient, and in order to get it, we'll see if you can go find it by making a charisma. Let's try a charisma investigation check in this case. So it would normally be intelligence, but it's going to be whatever your investigation modifier is and your charisma modifier. Trying to discover things about town.
All right. So just a straight charisma check is rather than or
Yeah, just roll a d20 and then add your charisma modifier and whatever your investigation modifier is.
okay. So investigation would be +3, and then charisma.
Because in a city like Waterdeep, I assume
3,
you would be
so
pretty.
it'll be a d20 +6.
Yeah.
My rolls suck. So a 9.
Okay, 9 with the modifiers and stuff. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, you are able to find a low quality version of that. It's not the best that you've ever seen of that particular ingredient, of whatever root or ingredient that it was asking for, but it'll do. It might not have as much of an effect on your invisibility as like your invisibility potion, if I can talk. Probably wouldn't be as strong as if you had had a slightly better version of that ingredient. But you're able to make 2 invisibility potions. We will say each one lasts for 1 minute in this case. So that's I don't know. We'll say 10 rounds because even though a round is technically 6 seconds, I don't know. So I think that would work out to like 3 minutes or something. But we'll just say 10 rounds. That way I know.
And the other thing was just learn more from the book.
Okay. Reading more into the book, the one thing that you do notice is that all over this book are marks that you believe to be the symbols of the Candlekeep Library. So you think that this book may in fact have originated from the production facilities in Candlekeep, where they are known to essentially do lithographs of books.
Where is that again?
South of Waterdeep, far south.
South.
Yep. Yeah, you
Far
could
south
actually
of
find in one of the maps in the book. We could actually flip back to our Sword Coast map here. Let's see.
Oh,
In our Sword Coast map, if
can't
you
go there
look.
now anyway.
Oops.
Probably somewhere I want to go in the future. Though.
Move our map up here a little bit, so you can see Waterdeep up at the top. Candlekeep is down here below Baldur's Gate, sort of by the red X, with the red X on it.
So
So it's way down there.
ways and ways
Yeah,
away.
it's about twice the distance from Neverwinter to Waterdeep. To go, or twice the distance to that to go to Candlekeep.
Well, who knows? Maybe if we master teleportation somehow, I'll be able to go through there quick sometime.
And so let's see. Forget where you guys are. I have this really nice map, and I don't know where anything is on it. I believe you guys, yep, are down here in the dock ward. All right, and Valk, what did you want to do since you wake up about 4 hours early as well? You also only require about half as much sleep. So what do you do?
If everyone else is still sleeping, I don't know. Check in with the city guard. I think for now until we all get.
Yeah, I was gonna say you kind of hear Arianth doing stuff in her room, but other than that, everybody seems to be asleep. So you're checking in with the city guard to do what specifically?
Basically, just checking in with them if they have any follow up on the investigation for the house that blew up, and if they also need any help patrolling the streets for a couple of hours in the early morning.
Okay. The guard tells you no. We were told that we're not allowed to let civilians help us patrol anymore, even though they sometimes offer. Since the incident at Trollskull, we've been put on kind of a tight lockdown. You see, well, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but you see that funny-looking stone that was found? It seems it's been misplaced by one of the members of the Watch. I wouldn't want to be that man. His head's gonna roll, if you know what I mean. His partner kind of looks at him sternly and goes, "Shh, none of that. Loose lips sink ships and all that."
I say, of course, I understand, and then wink very obviously to the guy that just gave me the tip.
Nice.
So there's nothing for me to do as far as the city watch is concerned. Well, I'm just gonna walk around the city streets, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna head back to the house and see if there's anything else I can figure out.
Okay. When you go past Troll Skull Manor, just a few short blocks from the Yawning Portal, you see that they've kind of cleaned up the area a little bit since yesterday. The hole is still in the front of the house, but it's the blast zone has kind of been cleared. All the bodies are gone, and somebody has actually thrown some kind of fresh sand over the top of the bloodstains and the burn marks in the middle of the street. You hear a voice come from behind you. Yeah. Hope we're not returning to the scene of the crime, are we? And as you turn around, you see that it's none other than Barnabas Blastwind, the chief inspector. Or are we just surveying the situation? I can tell a good detective's mind. It seems that you've got one, he says, kind of pointing his finger at you.
Yeah, I tell him I've returned with some interesting information. The stone that was retrieved from this mansion and given to the city nobles, well, actually given to yourself. My understanding is it's been misplaced, and I understand that there is a dark elf priestess that is highly interested in that stone. So, for the safety of the city, I suggest locating it and keeping it under guard.
He says, yes, it's an unfortunate incident. If you could do us a favor and please speak not of it. You see, I gave it to my associate, Cromley. He was waylaid by several feathered folk in one of the streets near here as he returned back to my station, I guess. Says I had hoped highly to get it identified, but if it is what I believe it is, I think it is the Stone of Galore. It's the key to something very important. Perhaps the greatest treasure that anyone has ever found. Well, monetarily speaking anyways, I'm sure much cooler things have been found than 500,000 gold coins. Wait. Well, yeah, never mind, I didn't say that. He says and just kind of awkwardly storms away and leaves you standing there by yourself.
I sigh discontentedly. But I take note of that name, Cromley. And he said feathered folk, which I think we encountered some of those in the fight with the Zentari at that Metal Gear Solid warehouse, right?
Yeah. Yep, you had encountered Kenku that were like the kind of a crow person, if you will. They were like giant, kind of anthropomorphized bird folk, and they had been working for the Xanathar's guild and had killed several of the Zentarim cult members. And at this point, it's starting to get back towards like normal breakfast time. So assuming that you make your way kind of back around the block to get to the Yawning Portal in time for your friends to awaken, you would enter, and everyone would probably be coming down the stairs at around the same time. Ariane getting back from her brief kind of treks about town and things. Just in time to sit down at a table and have breakfast served. Durnan says, "Don't worry about this one. It's all been taken care of." And he sort of nods to a pair of figures standing by the door. And standing in the doorway is an elderly woman who, she looks like she's maybe 50 or 60 in human years, although you notice elvish features about her, pointy ears and smooth skin and such not. She also has a mane of silver hair that comes down to about her waist or so. It's very long and very straight. Standing next to her, you see a kind of short human with dark skin and kind of dreadlocked hair cut down to her chin, holding a gnarled oak staff that's a has dark black streaks all over it. And he says, "These two will be wanting to talk to you," Durnan says. The two make their way over to the table that you're sitting at, and they introduce themselves. And the short one introduces herself as Vajra Safar, the Blackstaff. She says, "The youngest Blackstaff, I might add, to ever be made the Blackstaff in the city of Waterdeep." And at this, the other one says, "Hush, Vajra, you're being so... Ugh, God. May I introduce myself? I'm Lariel Silverhand, the Lord of Waterdeep." And she sort of extends her hand politely for, like, everybody to shake it.
I look at her hand and see if it's silver.
It is white, pale. Her nails are done in a silver sheen.
Okay.
It seems to be a theme. She's got a lot of silver stuff on her.
Shakes their hand.
She smiles, shakes your hand. It's a firm but kind of...
Maggie shakes both hands warmly and kind of congratulates.
I nod my head in a respectful manner towards them.
Oh, sorry, I think I'm delayed.
All good. All right.
Maggie congratulates the Blackstaff on being the youngest. So she must have studied very hard to get where she is.
Lariel kind of rolls her eyes at this and she says, "It's barely even an appointed position. It's hereditary."
Volk reverently introduces himself to the Lord of Waterdeep. And again, the tiniest hint of a smile creeps across his face as he realizes there's a person of authority there.
She kind of looks. She's charmed, I'm sure.
Yeah, when Toan finds out it's hereditary, he says, "I'm sorry for your loss. I recently lost my parents too."
Yeah, there you go. Shit.
Vajra just kind of turns and looks at you and nods just very subtly. She doesn't really say anything else. She says, Lariel looks and she says, "Perhaps it is best that we cut right to the chase. We've been told that you are trying to contact us, both. And although me and Vajra here don't always see eye to eye, we both always have the best interest of the city at heart. And not just the city, but all the realm. We wish for all the good folk to be able to live their lives in peace. We hear that there's a Lich Lord rising in the east where you are from. Is this true?"
Yes.
Verily.
She says, "We have sent spies, but they have not returned." yet."
Maggie gives the background of the twins and whatever everything they know of the Lich Lord, mentions the orcs, and everything they've heard from Lake Mother.
Okay. So you relate the entire story from like start to finish, essentially. And we'll say that this takes you maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and you guys are eating breakfast. You know, Durnan's bringing a second round of drinks out. At this point, you're all having like mimosas. It's like 2 in the afternoon.
Back to front.
And at this point, Volo and Rainier show up. And they're sort of sitting off at one end of the bar with Rainier's friend and Volo's nephew, whose name I do not remember right now, but it is not super important. But they're there. And Rainier kind of notices you all and gives a friendly wave. And then he sees Lariel. Floon, thank you.
Yep.
He sees Vajra and Lariel there, and kind of his mood instantly changes when he realizes who you're with, and he like stiffens up, and he goes over and approaches very like politely and straightens his little like ties on his shirt collar or whatever, and he does a deep bow to Lariel. He says, "Good day to you, Lord." She kind of gives him a polite nod and extends her hand, and he shakes it. And he says, "And to you, Madam Blackstaff." And he leans down, and at this, the Blackstaff kind of rolls her eyes and extends her hand, and he leans down and he kisses her hand for just like a second too long. And they kind of have this weird moment there where you guys are like, "What's going on there? That's weird. Awkward, cringy." And then he kind of excuses himself, and he says, "Well, I'll just be joining my friend and his uncle. Please do find us if you need anything. We'll be happy to help." He goes and sits back down. So that just occurs kind of sometime while you're relating this story. And Lariel looks at you with trouble in her eyes, and she says, "If this is true, what you say of an army rising in the east, an army of the undead, then perhaps the Lord would be wise to raise an army. She says, perhaps I would be wise to raise an army with my powers. I have to consult with the other lords first, though," she says. "You see, I am the open lord of Waterdeep. I am the face of Waterdeep. I handle the day-to-day business. But there are others in places of power that I don't know much about. They choose to wear masks to conceal their identities, to protect their families and themselves. Their next meeting is coming up tomorrow night. Perhaps I could bring you to an audience with them. We could work out a plan. We could come up with some way to raise the money that we need for such an army. You see, we can't just march an army out of nowhere. We have to be able to feed the army and clothe the army." She says, "I'm sure that we have willing citizens that would join, knowing that they would be protecting their families from an invading fleet from the west, but," she says, "we have to figure out a way to fund it first. We don't have that sort of capital just lying around."
Well, we
Perhaps
might
your
have
friend
transportation
Rainier will,
figured out.
I was gonna say perhaps Rainier would donate his house to the cause.
I don't think it's going to cover it.
Well, it's definitely not going to cover it now that it's had a hole blown in it by a fireball.
Yeah, they mentioned.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
guess they'll bring up they bring up the idea of the teleportation situation, and I would say Maggie's not talking about the on the they have it.
Sorry, Dave, I'm losing you.
Yeah, cutting
Yeah,
out
we
bad.
can hear what you're saying too.
Can you hear me any better?
A little bit.
Yes.
I was saying, yeah, Maggie would mention the idea of the teleportation, and also bring up. I think she'll hold off on talking about the stone that they have, but we'll just let them know that the priestess of Lolth is looking for that other stone.
She says, "Yes, that's concerning." The Lariel says, "That's concerning." Meanwhile, the Blackstaff Vajra is sitting there kind of leaning her feet up on a table with her chair leaning back. And she's sort of like filing her nails. And like she's got the Blackstaff leaning on the chair next to her. And she like a couple of times almost overbalances but corrects herself and kind of looks like, "Shit, did anybody see that?" Okay, and just goes back to filing her nails. But she seems to be kind of listening quietly. And Lariel, she says, "Yes, I suppose teleportation would be a possibility, although I don't know how much luck we would have teleporting an army outside of that distance. It would be such a complicated feat of magic to accomplish. We would need to almost create a mythal," she says, kind of like despondently, like, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. And Vajra kind of chuckles, and she's like, "Yes, you never were one for getting your hands dirty, Lariel." You can tell these two are just being really catty with each other for some reason.
Maggie jumps in and says, "We've been thinking about doing just that. Is that something that magic users in this city and others would be able to accomplish?"
She says, well, the last mythal, as far as I know, was created over 1,000 years ago, but I wonder if perhaps perhaps the time has come again for us to try. And she kind of looks at Vajra, and Vadra's eyes get kind of wide when she says this. She's like, but there's no way. She says, we don't have the resources. The Netherese knew things that we've forgotten 1,000 times over.
I quietly, mentally ask Reggie and tell him to respond mentally as well, if it is possible for us magic users to create one.
He tells you that it would require the gathering, and I'll just meta through this because it would be kind of complicated to do it as him. He says it would require the gathering of many of these power stones, probably as many as 24, representative of the rough hours of the day, essentially. The farther away that you want to teleport, the more of these power stones you essentially need, is what he tells you. That's the basis for many of these mythals when they were used for teleportation. It was sort of a safeguard. It was like multi-factor authentication in a way, because if multiple users had to have these power stones to activate the mythals, it meant that they couldn't be easily taken by evil forces and used. He says the likelihood of getting the correct combination of mythals is also sort of troubling. He says for moving an army, anyways. He says for individual use, it could be reasonable to assume that if you got a power stone, you could teleport yourself from one spot to another. Or if you got 2 power stones, you could teleport yourself to one of a couple locations, probably a greater distance apart. So it's sort of like a cumulative thing. The more of these power stones you accumulate, the more options kind of open to you from these mythals. He says, but remember, the mythals really only exist in these ancient ruined cities at this point, and who knows what function that they're in. He says to create one, you would need at least 24 of these power stones to start, and many powerful mages. It's not out of the question, though. It would just require a lot of effort to get those mages together.
He had said that there's one in this portal dungeon, right?
Yeah, you guys actually found the one in the nearby one in the portal dungeon, but there are more in there, from what you guys were told originally. There's like multiple things. Have you guys mentioned the power stone you have at all at this point?
No, we haven't.
Maggie
I don't
hasn't
think.
mentioned having one yet, but I meant the mythal. I thought that there was a mythal in that dungeon somewhere.
He also told you that there was a mythal.
It was way down in levels, wasn't it?
I
Right.
want to say it was like level 17 or something. I don't remember which one it was.
I think maybe 16.
16,
I think you
17.
said.
Yeah, it was a low level, though.
Mm-hmm.
Or deep level, I should say, not low.
Yeah, I mean, when we found that teleportation in the Undermountain, like the comet was level 17, and then level 23 was the tower with like the symbols.
Yes, and when you bring up Undermountain, Jen, Reggie would probably mention, someone like Hallister Blackcloak would be someone that would be capable of creating a mythal. With his help.
This is all stuff he's just telling me mentally in my head, correct?
He's just kind of telling you this stuff. Like, that's the level of power that you would need. You would need to be someone like him where you're nearly an immortal already to be able to create these things. It's like just below being a god, essentially, to make that type of stuff.
Okay, I tell Reggie to quietly tell the rest of the party this information, but to tell them to keep it to themselves for now until we have a chance to all speak together.
Okay. No. Lariel looks at you and she says...
you guys heard that.
Yeah, so Reggie's able to distribute that to the group, kind of do the old Jean Grey type thing. So Lariel, she tells you she has an idea. She says, there are rumors in this city that our former lord none other than Mr. Rainier Neverember's father, Daggles, has stowed away 500,000 gold coins. And she's saying this kind of quietly, but even as quiet as she's saying it, Durnan's ears kind of perk up just a little bit, and you see his eyes shift maybe a little. She says, "We believe that this object that the City Watch recently had taken from them." She says, "We believe that it is the key to finding this stow of gold of Neverembers. We don't know that Neverember has a right to this gold. We believe he may have embezzled it from the people of Waterdeep themselves. However, if we were to be able to retrieve this gold for the city of Waterdeep, perhaps that would be our funding for our army against your Lich Lord in the east." She says that would pay for many boats, many sailors, many swords. Vajra kind of rolls her eyes again at her, and she says, "Yes, and how many spells?"
Well, we have a 5% finder's fee.
Durnan chuckles. Ha, the boy. He's all about that. He's like, every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
I'm trying to remember. So Neverember also told us about that. Is that right?
Neverember, I believe, told you guys that he had stakes in the city, and that he was trying. I think, did he tell you about that?
I thought he mentioned money that was his.
Yeah, he never specified that it was 500,000 coins. I don't think so.
Right.
This would probably be like, huh, to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's also. I'm also thinking like, without creating an enemy of Neverember, we could reasonably claim ignorance, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, he would have said something about that to you in the confidence that you would maybe contact someone. Like, he had sort of, I think, given you the gist that he was trying to get his money back from something, and that he was going to try to contact you once you got to Waterdeep. And I believe Rainier pointed out to you guys at some point that the person killed, or one of the people killed, outside of the Trollskull Alley was a contact of his father's. This is the person that it's believed that the Stone of Galore was taken from. And so it's possible that this contact may have been trying to bring you this Stone of Galore in the first place.
it sounds like we need to find the Stone of Galore.
There's a mystery afoot.
Do they have any information about whom took the Stone of Galore?
Cromley, a member of the city guard. I approached the house that was given to us by that fellow, and I point to Volo. There had been an explosion, as I mentioned, and I was able to locate the stone because I talked to the bartender, or the spirit of the bartender. I'd given it to the City Watch for safekeeping, thinking they would be the best people to hold on to it. Alas, that was not the case. One of the City Watch, whose name is Cromley, apparently was waylaid by our feathered friends that we fought when we first approached the city, and now it's lost to us.
So we would have to find feathered friends.
Well, I think we know where we can find someone that can bring us to him. Pretty sure we left him in a pit downstairs.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been like a day. I mean, unless he was killed, but
Yeah, you figure it's been
Who knows?
12 hours, maybe. It's probably a few hour trip up the river to get back.
So
And 8
we're
hours of
going
sleep.
back to the dungeon.
I sort of
Yeah,
always
I think-
knew we were going to go back to the dungeon somehow.
I think it makes sense to tell the lords that we'll meet with them the following night, as they offered, and ask for any help that they can possibly give us in finding the stone, and then go find the stone.
Okay, so Vajra and Lariel agree to meet back here tomorrow night, and they will escort you. They will secret you to a location, is what they tell you. They don't really explain what that means. Vajra kind of looks at Lariel and says, well, if we're done here, I've got to go figure out what it is that Brunor wants. He's been contacting me about something about lost friends in Gauntlgrim. And she says, oh, I'll see you later. Try not to get any older. And she turns on her heel and walks away. And Lariel kind of rolls her eyes again, looking back and forth again with the cattiness. And she looks over at you and she goes, she's quite adept at her magical skills, but she has a lot to learn about personality and couth. She says she thinks herself some sort of a hotshot for being the youngest black staff ever. All it means is she's the most vulnerable. And she says, I will see you tomorrow around the same time. So assume that by now it's probably evening. You guys have been up for a few hours now.
And she doesn't have any guidance on like where to start looking for the stone.
No, she says if you think that the Xanathar's guild possibly took it, she says they'll send some city watchmen out to rouse some of the locals, but she'll let you know if they find anything tomorrow at your meeting. Because you guys have kind of made the connection that the Xanathar's guild are the ones that
Right.
probably robbed the city watch, knocked the guy out, and took your stone.
I'll also ask her about if the priestess of Lolth rings any bells. Like, is that necessarily somebody that's working with Xanathar, and is that somebody that they know of?
Okay. Because I heard somebody already say the name earlier, so I'll assume you guys remember the name. You tell her the name, and she looks kind of shocked for a moment, and she says, it can't be. I thought she was dead. She says, you say her name was Malice. I wonder
Yes.
if it is the one that I know of. I pray she doesn't come here. No good can come with her. She says, Malice Do Erden, the youngest sister, or older sister of Dritz Do Erden. Perhaps you've heard of him?
Have.
Nope.
Nope.
This is the best for me, too, because it doesn't matter canonically whether you, in character or out of character, know who Dritz is. She says, well, he's a friend of Brunor's. He's recently gone missing in the depths of Gauntlgrim, the ancient Dwarven city. Brunor's been sending out requests for adventurers to go in search of Dritz, but it's not uncommon for the drow to go travel the Underdark for weeks at a time with his panther companion. So I can only imagine that he's off having some crazy adventure, and I don't quite have time to deal with that sort of thing right now. Probably lots of fun, but... She says, as far as where the Stone of Galore could be, if the Zents have it, they're most likely bringing it to their boss. Or she says, if Xanathar's guild has it, they're most likely bringing it to their boss, Xanathar. However, it seems that the Zents want the stone for themselves, probably for the same reason we do, to try to unlock the mystery of Neverember's treasure.
Yeah, we can think of 500,000 reasons why they want it.
Yeah.
I asked her if she knows of any way to trace the stone magically.
She says, no, unfortunately, with the short time that we had it in our possession, we attempted several incantations to discern that both the type of magic that it was and to identify the specific spells and such that were on it, and we didn't have much luck. She says it doesn't seem to be an easily locatable object, very intentionally. She kind of looks at you, Tohan, at this point, and she says, "Have you always been that color?"
Nope. Used to be much more coppery.
And she sort of reaches her forefinger out for a moment, and she licks the tip of her forefinger, and she just slowly leans in and she pokes it onto the center of your forehead.
Buy me a drink first.
And it just, she holds it there for like, it starts off uncomfortable, and then it gets a little more uncomfortable. And then you're not sure, but you think you're starting to like it. And then it's uncomfortable again. But as this happens, slowly the copper fades back across your face. And she takes a step away, and she sort of has to stabilize herself after she does it. She says, "Well, it's been a while since I've cast that one. And you are now returned to your former coppery shine."
Hooray.
Nice.
Sweet.
We did it.
Very cool.
Yay.
This is the part of the story where the DM gives a clue indicative of the power level of his NPC. Yay!
I asked
She's
her what
tough.
spell she used and if she could teach me.
And she says, "My dear, it'll take you many years to get there."
I nod my head in respect.
She says,
I asked them if they have
I'm always
any.
trying to learn more.
I ask if they have any interest in defeating a Lich Lord.
"Yes, of course we do. We will."
No, I mean personally. Like, you want to come with us?
She says, "Unfortunately, my duties to Waterdeep prevent me from leaving the city.
Naturally.
However, she says, the Vajra, she's in charge of a small group of fighters named Force Grey. Perhaps she will be able to assist you in your quest to defeat this Lich Lord. They are known to be quite the adventurers themselves."
I said the help of another magic
That
user
sounds
would
good.
always be welcome.
And if anybody wants to make a history check to see what you know, if you've ever heard of Force Grey.
Sure.
Got history plus.
I'm not going to even roll because I'm guessing I just don't.
I got 20.
I've got a history check of 14. Does that help?
That's like critical miss for me.
Okay, so anybody with a 10 or over, you would have heard of Force Grey. And I mean, obviously, you can relate this to your friends if you know it. But as long as somebody got a 10, over a 10, you would have heard of them.
Yep.
I got a
Yep.
24. So
Force Grey is known to be essentially like a commando squad style adventure group. Like, they are often talked about in like mercenary circles as like the ultimate achievement. Like, if you can get on Force Grey, then you must be like Soldier of Fortune level mercenary. Like, it's that sort of thing. And they've recently come under the employ of the Blackstaff. She has been kind of known to employ them in the area as almost like an Avengers style team. It's like Force Grey Assemble. And she just like pulls some characters together from various walks of life, of adventuring life, and we'll send them out on these quests.
Cool.
But they would have some notoriety around.
That could be helpful.
Alright, so let's see. She says, "Well, I bid you all a fond night and adieu. I'll see you tomorrow in the evening." So yeah, that it's now, like I said, it's now probably like 6 or 7 o'clock. It's springtime, so it's just starting to get dark. And you guys are in
Let's
the
go find the stone. Yes.
Yeah. Let's say we Batman style. We find some bad guy Eric Hawkers and beat him until we get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
very well,
So-
we gotta make our way back to that pit, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Volk sighs dejectedly again, but hey, it's part of the job.
Are you uncomfortable underground, Volk?
I thought there would be a nice legal way to get this done, but guess we have to get our hands dirty.
It's all right. 5% is quite a bit.
Well, technically, Volk, you've
It's
been
all going
given
to charity.
you've basically been given an order by the highest law in the land right now. So
That is true.
You know, that would be a
yeah,
good way
but
to look
Volk
at it for
has an
Volk.
aversion to dungeons.
all right, let's see.
All right, let's hop down the pit.
So as you guys are headed down the pit, you kind of make your way back through the previous path that you were in, and you come
Yeah, I
upon
make sure I flip turn in another gold before we go down.
cruise down the crane again, so you don't have to backtrack all the way back upriver. So yeah, you make your way, and it takes maybe again an hour to get down there. It's not. This is like going through a big deep cellar essentially, like where you're walking through. It's kind of musty and gross, but it's still essentially like a cellar. And you manage to make your way back to the exact spot without any encounters from this guy. And in this pit, you can see there is now a half of what was some sort of undead creature that was burned. It is broken in half at the spine, but the guy is.
I laugh at the undead creature.
Yeah, the guy is nowhere to be found.
Can I look around for like footprints or anything like that, or?
He had told us.
Oh yeah.
Roll me an investigation check.
I'm actually going to do the same thing and help him out.
Okay.
Five.
Ugh. 8.
Okay. So the only thing that you guys see is
Go.
it looks like scuff marks at the edge of the pit where there was like several sets of footprints around, and then it looks like somebody pulled this guy up essentially, like, and helped him out of the pit, and then they just kind of scuffle off away from the pit, and it just goes back to stone floor, and there's no other signs.
I forget, what kind of guy are we tracking right now? Sorry, go ahead.
This is
I was just gonna ask.
Oops, sorry. I was gonna say he's a human.
Yeah.
I asked
Use
Reggie
the
if there was
He
any
had
way
told
to
us
track
where.
him.
He had told us where the Xanathar folks are, right?
Yeah, he had told you that they were to the
I mean,
southeast. As far as a way to track them, Jen, he says not unless.
I was
you
going to
have a
ask
detect
if I
person
could roll
spell.
a survival check on advantage because my favorite enemy.
Yeah, if you got human for favorite enemy, sure.
So that's a 17 and a 15, so 17.
Okay.
You can add Maggie's D4 to it.
Ooh, okay.
That guy brought us to the hallway of
So
that was all
one-
lit up too, and said like the other way was
Right.
the way to go.
So I guess 18 is my total.
Okay. So yeah, you can see that about 15 feet off down into one of the hallways, it looks like there was some kind of a struggle, and there is some blood along one wall and then drag marks. So it looks like whatever happened, somebody got knocked out or something and dragged along after that, or worse.
So maybe this bandit wasn't so happy to have been helped out of the pit.
Well, he did say that the other gang was going to probably be the ones to find him.
Oh yeah.
I think we should go the direction that he told us the Xanathar folks are. Just go there and look. I agree. Batman style, like find a bad guy and make him lead us where we're trying to go.
Is that also the direction of this trail of blood?
It is.
I guess let's go that way then.
So yeah.
You know what's wicked
Follow the
funny,
blood.
guys, is from my perspective as a DM, I was like, well, they're probably not gonna want to go back to the dungeon tonight, so I'll come up with these other things for them to do.
Psych.
All right, so
Yeah, in your face. Looks like we're just a bunch of weirdo dungeon crawlers.
so as
We're coming back here a third time. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually gonna. Can we leave the dungeon and then come back again?
Well, we have to go meet up. We have to meet up tomorrow,
Yeah,
but
you
then
literally
it's up
have
to the
to do
area
that,
and staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be awesome. In and
You
out,
can
in
pretty
and
much
out.
just go down here every time.
So you are able
I'm hoping
to.
at some point that we master teleportation so I can just bounce back and check all these different areas I need to go do stuff.
Yeah.
You should definitely do that.
So let's see. You guys have. You guys still have that other power stone with you too, as well.
Right.
So let's see. Let me see if I have. Just gotta look for my map here. Map. See, that was in level 1. Ping. Okay.
With the blood on the floor, nice touch.
Let's see, where are you guys? You guys, when you tracked him all the way back down, you would have been right about here. Maybe kind of difficult for me to enlarge this. Track it back up this direction. Alright, so yeah, you guys would have been somewhere around here in the middle. Put our red X back on the board so we can see where we are. This would have been the pit. And we would say he would have been dragged off this way through one of these hallways off to the east. So you're able to kind of head up and you find a room. I'll go grab the other book that I don't have sitting in front of me. Ugh. Ooh, 1 second. This one. Plop. What was in here?
The dungeon map, by the way.
Okay, I'm back with a book. Alright. So you guys would have been headed up and into 28B. I don't know what that's all about. Let's see. So as you come into this room, in the north end of it stands a 14-foot tall granite obelisk with a lidless eye carved near its top on the south-facing side. The bottom half of the obelisk is covered with dirty, bloody handprints. Wide alcoves surround the obelisk to the west, north, and east. They each contain a dozen mounds of bundled rugs and torn fabrics. Perhaps some sort of bedding.
Does it seem like fresh blood?
Reasonably fresh. It's not dry, but it's kind of like sticky and.
Is this perhaps some sort of teleportation thing?
Probably more like a hidden room somewhere in here.
Yeah, just remember it's the dungeon of the Mad Mage, so who knows?
Well,
Yes.
this eye is probably a Xanathar symbol, right? Is that a history
Make-
check kind of thing, or?
I was gonna say make a insight check. Is it insight?
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Insight. Ooh, that is a gnarly 6 plus 4, so 10.
It looks similar to the Xanathar stuff for sure. Like to the tattoos and stuff that you had seen from other people.
Do we still see any like spots of blood anywhere or claw marks or anything like that?
The trail of blood kind of leads off to the east.
I think let's go that way.
Okay.
Let's
So
follow the action.
Sounds good to me.
as you follow, back to the map here. Right, so as you follow, you kind of, as you slowly plod forward, you kind of hear, ah! And just out of the corner of your eye, you notice a goblin duck behind the broken halves of a stone table tipped on its side. And you can kind of hear several goblin voices talking back and forth between each other. Like, do any of you speak goblin?
No.
Nope.
Do.
Did I hear an I do?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
I don't either.
Okay, so no goblin speakers. Sorry.
I have a comprehend language spell if anybody wants me to cast it.
Maybe.
Okay, so lying on the floor between the goblins and the tunnel are two dead goblins. One of them is headless, and a dead Grick, riddled with goblin arrows.
All right. Why not? I'll cast a comprehend language so I can understand and speak with them if need be.
Okay, so you can hear one of them go, "We're really in the shit now, man. This is crazy. Like, did you see that thing? It came right at us." "Hey, relax," is the other one. We killed it. Don't worry. "Yeah, but what if there's more?" "It's okay. We'll be fine. We'll kill them as they come. Don't worry about it. It's fine." "Well, if these things don't kill us, we'll probably get back there, and those dang hobgoblins are gonna do it. I mean, look, they already got Charlie and Zag.
All right. I tell Reggie to basically relay everything that's being sent to everybody as I'm listening to it.
Okay. It's playing through like a radio play to you guys, kind of.
Oh yeah.
I put my hand over my mouth thinking about poor Zag.
What did you say is on the ground? A dead Grick?
Yes, a dead Grick.
What is that?
You know what's a Grick?
Let's see if I can get a picture.
I asked Reggie if he knows what it is.
Just a second here. Let me add this image in
And
here for you guys.
my spell lasts for an hour, so I'll be able to whatever you hear for that period.
Okay. Yeah, so far it's just them basically, like one guy trying to calm another one down, and then the others are kind of like just looking around, scouting things, trying to make sure that they're not gonna get kind of hornswoggled here, I guess.
Do they just seem unconcerned that we're standing near them?
They don't seem to
Do they
notice
even
you.
notice us?
Yeah, they don't seem to notice you at all. They're too concerned looking out the other hallway from whence this Grick came.
I ask everyone if we want to approach and speak to them and see if they know where we can find whom we're looking for.
There we go. That is a Grick. Looks kind of like a tremor with some fucked up octopus tentacles on it.
Yeah, they probably know this down here better than we do. So if you can talk to them, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right. I slowly walk up to the goblins and say, I mean you no harm, but I would like to gather some information from you.
So as soon as you speak, one of them kind of pulls his bow and he's pointing it at you, but they don't fire right away, and they go,
Say, calm down.
What do I do,
I come
boss?
in peace.
She's not a Grick. The other one says, all right, let's just hear what she's got to say. What do you want?
I explained to them whom we're looking for and who might have taken him.
Okay.
And that we're looking for them.
The goblin sort of looks you up and down for a moment and says, listen, we had orders to kill any Gricks that come down this tunnel. Other than that, we don't really know nothing. Now, you're looking for some guy, he got lost in the dungeon. Maybe lots of guys get lost in this dungeon, you know? What's it to me? I see a lot of guys come, a lot of guys go. Every once in a while, I see a guy come and go. So what's in it for me if I tell you where these guys might have
Have you seen
gone?
any guys come and go recently?
He says, you're not understanding.
The last
You gotta
12
talk the
hours.
dungeon language. And he starts making the like money palm like thing at you. He's looking for a bribe, essentially.
I nod to Tohan and ask if he's willing to put some money
I
forward for that.
throw the goblins 5 gold and tell Arian, like, ask about the bird people and where they stay.
I read Tohan's question to the goblins, along with the gold.
Ah, you're one of those weird featheries, huh? You're into that sort of thing? All right. Well, they're listen, I'll tell you, they're down here, and he points down the hallway that the Grick came from. He says you're gonna want to go down here and then bear south, but I don't know. It's been pretty nasty in these halls lately. There's been lots of these Grick things digging through the walls.
Well, we'll certainly be sure to kill any that we come across.
Ask about the ask about the dude again too, I guess.
He says, yeah, we might have seen them. They're the Xanathars, they come down here sometimes. We let them go by because, well, quite frankly, they scare us. Listen, if you see my boss, he's a big, ugly hobgoblin. Don't tell him I called him ugly, but he's stalking around here someplace too. Listen, just tell him that we're doing a real good job killing Gricks over here, okay? Could you?
What's your name?
I will do. Go ahead.
My name's
I asked him his name.
Margowath.
Okay. Margaret, if I see him, I will tell him.
What's the boss's name?
Brudak.
Rudak.
I ask if that I can't remember the name of the gang at the moment, but if the gang and the feather people ever seem to work together, that they've noticed.
Goes, oh, the Undertakers? No, they're kind of a joke down here. They're not really that big or tough. They just, it's like a bunch of teenagers. They got too big for their britches. They came down here. I don't know why the Xants haven't wiped them out yet.
Where is Xanathar?
Well, he's probably in his lair
Did
someplace.
they take that guy down the same way as the birds?
Well, he says, well, yeah, it was the birds that took the guy.
And where's the lair? Where's Xanathar's lair?
Well, my guys, he says, we live on one level down. We just come up here to forage for food. We get a little mushrooms. We get little trades going on. But I believe Xanathar is probably down in Skullport, last I knew. That's that third level down.
All right. Okay, so
Easy enough to get there.
yep. So do we want to follow the feather people first to this dude, and then maybe head to the port, since that'll be the quickest way back up anyway?
Sounds good to me.
No,
Yeah.
let's follow
See
that
what these
other.
bird people say.
I thank the goblins for all their information and tell them that I will definitely tell their boss that they're doing a good job if I see him.
Hey, all right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. You know, just if you hear us scream, it's probably just us killing more Gricks. Yeah.
So good luck.
His buddy is literally shaking, like peeing his pants in fear, like bow out, like pointing around. Just this one goblin's completely calm and cool. He's clearly in charge. Marga, remember that one. So as you proceed down the tunnel that he directed you down to the east, you come to kind of a offshoot on your left-hand side, and as you come around the corner, you see two of these Gricks in the middle of the partially collapsed hall. And I need everybody to roll initiative, and they're going to attack you.
Aiden for Guilfoyle.
Alright, 1 second. So that puts you
Eight.
in... It puts you guys right here. Where the
5.
Well,
Alright, sorry, let me go right down the list. Guilfoyle, you said 8?
18.
18, okay. Valk was a 5, I heard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eight.
Maggie had an 8?
Yep.
Okay. Looking for initiative from Tohan, Venadia, and Arian.
Dawn's 15.
Tohan's 15.
Ernest is 12.
And Venadia, what was yours?
We might have lost him.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know.
You got it.
Or he's on mute, but I don't think he rolled either.
Okay. Well, we'll go with it for a minute.
Yeah, Nick's on mute. Farrah, that is.
Yeah. Cool Nick's on mute.
All right. Well, when he gets back to us with an initiative roll, we'll find out. The two Gricks. Ooh. The two Gricks are going to pounce because they both got 18s as well. Actually, we'll say Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle, you go ahead because you probably have a better dexterity than they do.
I bet I do.
I'll bet you do.
All right, going up, attacking the first one.
All right.
I'm assuming a 20 hits.
Yeah, I would think so.
Let's see, that's 6 plus sneak attack damage. 15 damage for the first hit.
Okay. Give me 1 second, still pulling up stats.
And a 16, I'm assuming, hits for 5 more damage.
Okay, so that monster is immediately very bloodied.
Nice.
Alright, now it will be the Grick's turn. Guilfoyle, did you move away? I'm sorry, at the end of that?
No, I didn't say anything, so no, I didn't.
Okay. So, Grick A. Let's see. Bonus to hit. Okay, 22, I'm assuming, hits you.
Yep.
Alright. Plus 2. 3. So 6.
Sorry guys, I had to step away. We're in combat?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to just
Alright.
roll me initiative and I'll put you into the order.
Yep, I'm on it. 15.
Okay, that's actually perfect. So you'll be same time as Tohan. Alright, so because the Grick hit you with its first attack, it can now hit you with a second attack, which it misses.
I'm uncanny dodging the first hit,
Okay.
so I'm going to half the damage she does.
Alright.
So how much damage total?
That was 6 total, so 3.
Down to 3. Okay.
Grick B. Let's see. Grick B is also going to take a swing at you. One score is a 21, I'm assuming hits. For 11 damage. And then take a second swing. Which is an 11, which I'm assuming misses. So I'm I don't remember. Can you take Uncanny Dodge another time, Bill, or no?
Just once per round. I don't even know if it's that many.
Okay, so it's going to be 11 damage then that he soaks from the second one, and then it's going to be either Tohan or Vanadia's turn, whoever has the higher dexterity between the two of you.
My dexterity is a 16.
That's you.
Okay. I'm going to rage, and then I'm going to swing a axe at him. Recklessly, Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a natural 19 for a 23 to hit on the first one.
That is a hit. Are you attacking the wounded one or the non-wounded one?
I will go with the wounded one, I guess.
Okay.
That is 26 damage on the first attack.
All right, it explodes.
Okay.
yeah.
And then when I kill something with Great Weapon Master, I get to attack again. So that is a 211, so a 15 to hit.
Hits, yep.
For 21 damage.
All right, it's still alive.
And then another natural 19 for 23 to hit on my second attack. For 19 more damage.
All right, yeah, so that one explodes as well. Don't hit our halfling! Smash!
I just, as an aside for like the game of Dungeons and Dragons, I think it's very beneficial to have a murder lizard on your team.
That's a whole new class, murder lizard. I like
This
it.
dude is like, Nick, you're getting all the good rolls. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's only good at one thing, and it's hitting things with an axe. So
You got your mojo back now that you're bronze again.
Right?
Yeah,
There you
definitely.
He had it when he was gray. Are you kidding me?
Fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you-
barbarians
you were
are
really
nasty,
only-
man.
You were really only gray long enough to get advantage on one roll with that shopkeeper, and that was it. That's really all it did.
Yeah, barbarians are nasty early on. Like now they just get like tankier as they get higher levels.
Was anyone wounded in that, by the way? Did anyone take any like heavy damage, or are we good?
I took 3.
Well, you took 11 on the second attack, too.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was AFK.
Did I get hit while I was gone?
No.
You did.
Okay.
So I'm down 14 total.
Which, what kind of condition are you in? Like, are you hurting?
I'm all right. 2/3.
Screw it. Let me give you a cure wounds. Because I don't want my collector friend to be injured. Plus, I love his oranges.
The peels. You get the peels.
Right,
So I'm gonna
exactly.
cast that, and you're gonna get
You're
8
saying-
hit points back.
He finds you very appealing.
Ah,
But just
I love you, Zach.
Yeah.
More
I
jokes.
know.
Do these things have any teeth that I can steal, or
The Gricks? They have beaks.
I'm not interested in beaks? But they have like
Oh.
tentacles, right? Is that what I saw?
They do
I
have
can make like
tentacles.
calamari or something out
Yeah,
of them?
yeah, absolutely. You could do calamari.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab some
Anything
tentacles.
on them be an ingredient for me, Zach?
Let's see. I don't think so. They don't have any like weird poisons or anything. I I mean, you could harvest their beak as an ingredient, possibly. Grick
Screw
beak?
it, why not?
2 grick beaks.
Might as well. I kind of want to do that now. Wherever I am, just kind of keep a half an eye out for anything that could be in an ingredient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bill, you heard I got you back for 8 hit points, right?
Yep, I got it. Thanks.
Cool, man. Okay.
Okay, so continuing on in the same direction, unless you guys want to go farther south and explore the kind of wobbly caves south of you. It's up to you guys.
Well, we're following the birds, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still trying to follow the blood trails and everything going through here. All right, so as you get to the following area here, click through. There you go. As your little team moves along, you find yourself up here, kind of just on the edge of. Oh, there goes my mouse off the edge of my chair. You find yourself on the edge of a small throne room, or what it appears to be. Or at least it once was. In the southernmost section of the room, kind of off in the far corner, there is something coiled up that seems to be kind of breathing heavily in and out. And it looks like a large version of the things you just fought. It doesn't really seem to notice your presence at all. When you look up, directly above it, on the 20-foot high ceiling, is an upside-down stone throne, seated upon which is a mummified minotaur with gems embedded in its eyes. A great axe lies at the foot of the throne, so on the ceiling. There's stone debris all across the floor and the ceiling, as though there was something smashed in here. And that's what you guys
It's
see.
upside down?
It's upside down. It's like... just like somebody...
And how high in the air is it?
About 20 feet.
20 feet.
Yep.
All right.
Let's
is there
check
anything
it out.
along the walls that you could scale or anything? Any sort of handholds or vines or anything to scale to the top?
Well, you said there's a big grick in here too, right? Or
Yeah, there is what appears to be some sort of an alpha version of it.
And it's just like curled up like it's sleeping?
Yep. Yeah, as you guys are standing there examining it, it sort of retches twice and coughs up a skeletonized goblin. And then it goes back to sleep. It clearly just fed. It's not concerned with you.
do we think it's Brudak that he just coughed up? Or
Is it Zag Zag?
Yeah, it's got a little. He's got dog tags on it. It just says Zag Zag on it. But they're like shitty. They're like shitty wooden goblin dog tags.
Valk puts his hand over his mouth in complete, but silently and slowly.
He's wearing a zigzag T-shirt. Zigzag,
Yeah,
zag.
single tier. Single tier.
My
rolls
Zag Zag
down.
tattoo is right on. Zag Zag tattoo. So mummified minotaur, gems in its eyes, axe hanging 20 feet above us.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's like lasso it or something.
And a curled up sleeping Grick.
I'm
The
guessing
giant
that
one.
removing the gems is probably going to wake the Minotaur.
Yeah.
I know,
and
but I really want that axe too.
The,
but I mean,
the trail of blood kind of continues
Let's
off to the south.
We're strong.
Is the axe above the grick?
Yes, it is. Both the axe and the axe is like at the feet of the Minotaur, and the throne is directly above the Grick.
I wonder if we could get the axe to fall on the grick and chop its head off.
or just the whole throne.
Yeah.
If Guilfoyle can sneak up and take the gems out, the first thing the Minotaur is going to see is the Grick.
Yeah, that, or maybe you could use like a shaper mold earth spell and just kind of mold the earth so it just comes loose from the ceiling and drops down on him.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
If
Well,
that's
I got a
possible,
25
certainly
for
do it.
stealth.
that is true. We do have a ninja on the team.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
I prefer Nick's idea about the mold earth.
I'll leave it.
That's my
I'll
vote.
leave it up to whatever.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds like there's a consensus. All right, so
Alrighty.
you slowly stretch the earth above this thing, and the rocks that kind of look like they were once floor stones begin to slowly shake. And make me an Arcana check, which you get advantage on because of the presence of Reggie and other such things.
17.
Okay. You're able to stretch the hole out thin enough and wide enough into an area where the ceiling stones, as they were, come loose, and the large stone chair, the mummified minotaur, and the axe all crash down on top of the sleeping Grick. Go ahead and let's see. We'll say roll 2d12 damage to see what it does to the Grick. From this big stone chair and dead thing hitting it.
Which dice on Beyond is a 12?
It's the second one down.
Yeah. It looks like a pentagon surrounded by like other shapes. I can't believe I can't figure out what to call those shapes.
They are confusing. Yeah. No.
Trapezoids?
Isn't it by rhombuses?
Trapezoids.
There are other pentagons.
Yeah.
Well, one is a.
I got a 13.
Okay. So, the Grick is pinned under the chair for the time being, making it both prone and grappled.
I'm going to swing at it with an axe.
Okay. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. I also am going to just stab the shit out of it with my sword.
I won't even make you guys roll for it. I'll just assume that you guys just go in and just fucking lay waste to this thing.
Dispatch.
Yeah. This poor Grick.
Get revenge for Zag Zag.
Zag Zag! And I just strike down and like land in his head.
Do you do a zigzag cut in the Grick?
Yeah. Z for sex. Is it zigzag or zag? I can't even name. What's the name of the goblin?
I think I said Zag Zag originally. I don't know.
Zag Zag, the zigzag.
Yeah. Locke doesn't know the difference. That'll be another weird character trait to carry along with him.
So yeah, as it hits the floor, the mummified minotaur just splits apart, just kind of dusty, and his body parts all fall everywhere. The axe sort of clangs off the floor.
I grab one of the gems.
Okay. The first
I
one
point to Ton and say, "You murder lizard. There's a new axe."
the gemstone is banded agate. Looks like it's worth about 10 gold piece. And then you see the other one sitting there. That looks like a zircon. That's worth about 50.
Hell yeah, grab it.
I ask Arianth, are either of these power stones?
I ask Reggie if either of these are power stones.
He says, no, one's a banded agate and the other one's a zircon.
Thank you, Reggie.
First one's worth 10, the other one's worth 50.
I keep the one that's 10 and tell Tohan to put the other one in with the rest of the.
Okay, you're gonna add that to your stuff.
Good old Reggie.
Okay.
I'm assuming that it could be possibly an ingredient or something I can sell for ingredients.
Well, is it me or wasn't there a statue that was missing something for its eyes or something? Was it the one we put the head back on? Or am I making that up?
Did think it just was missing the head that we put the head back on, and that got us to the map room? No.
Yeah, I think we already did that.
Yes, that is correct. I do
I bet
understand the
that
confusion,
Minotaur's
though.
got a sweet tooth in it.
Dungeons and Dragons has a lot of statues with eyes missing out of it and shit. It just happens.
I think I'm thinking of the bronze visage. That's what it was.
Yeah, the mask.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Zach. What was that stone I grabbed again?
First one was
Banded
a
agate.
banded agate. Yep.
Banded agate. Thank you, and it's worth 10.
Let's see. So.
Yeah, I pick up the axe too.
Alright. It is a regular great axe. Nothing special about it.
Okay.
But it's great. It's an axe.
Cool.
Eventually, this game will have an okay axe.
Well, I don't know if you guys ever caught the one that it was just Jen and Dave doing the Wizard Unknown, but those were like, that's where like Chief of Staff came from. Was
Oh, yeah.
There were all these goofy fucking names for the weapons. That was actually part of that module, yeah.
Was that the Fortnite episode?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the PUBG
that was
Fortnite
awesome.
episode.
That would be cool if we all go back there.
Oh, that's got to be from the Acquisitions Incorporated package.
Yeah, that was from one of their games that was a one-off that, like, the regular DM wasn't DMing for them, so they had one of the players DM, and that's what he came up with. It was like I ran it almost the same way he did, and yeah, it was much funnier when he ran it because it was enjoyable.
It was still fun.
Let's see. So you guys, as you head down, we'll say, because that's the remaining area, and that's where the goo trail seems to lead. You slowly find yourselves going through a small tunnel. Set the coffee down and get back to the computer mouse here. Click on things until I get back to the right thing. Bam. So you make your way down through here and up into this tunnel, and you find yourself in a small, just kind of 10-foot wide sort of closet. That is... Oh no, I lost it on the map again. Oh no. This is written really weird. Really weird. I wonder if it's a misprint. Well, you see what appears to be a locked door. And from the inside of it, you can hear what seems to be quiet sobs.
I'll approach.
I give Guilfoyle like the up nod, like the sup, and just point him over there.
Take a peek.
Okay, so yeah, it's a door. It's locked. You can hear just a miserable sobbing coming from inside of it. I didn't want to come this way. I was just on toll duty. This is bullshit.
That's our dude.
I will see if I can unlock
Can
the
go
lock.
pick the lock?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a
Is it
perform.
sleight of hand or what is it? I mean, it would be the same as sleight of hand because it would be my proficiency bonus.
Yeah, I believe so.
So it'd be a 25.
All right, yeah. You hear a click and the door unlocks. The sobbing kind of stops.
I take a peek in.
I put my head over top of his head. I was like, "Hello, buddy. Miss us yet?"
Oh, God, not you again. Would have been better off with the bugbears. What do you want?
Oh,
all right. I guess
you're gonna get your wish. You're gonna bring us to bird people, and then you're gonna go free for real this time, not even in pits and stuff.
I don't know where they went though. They locked me in here. Must have been 10 hours ago.
You know where their territory is.
Volk is losing his patience and approaches this guy and says, "You were going to tell us where these feathered people are immediately." Can I do an intimidation?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a 10.
I mean, this guy's still pretty hurt too, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, like.
I would say you would probably have advantage on the intimidation check, being that this guy is already terrified of Tohan.
You can add a D4 to it as well.
Like, I'm pretty sure Tohan did like 40 damage to him before.
Yeah, so it's going to be a total of 11 on intimidation.
You didn't roll your advantage roll though.
I did roll the advantage. The advantage was a 1d4, I thought, no? Or should I just roll?
Re-roll again, yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood. I apologize. Hold on. All right, just give me a second for re-roll intimidation. Okay, that's a 25.
Ew, not
And a
20.
20.
All right, so
There you go.
the guy just slides down the wall with his back against the wall, and he's now just crying, and he's saying, "Okay, I'll tell you whatever you want. Just please, God, I just want to go home. I don't even want to be part of this stupid gang anymore. This was such a dumb idea."
Perfect.
All right, so he is able to lead you safely to. Let's see, where can he lead you safely to? That's in the other book. That's where it is. Come here, no cards. Sorry, just 1 second, guys. I'm looking some stuff up here. So he is able to lead you back through the dungeon pretty much the way you came, and down to the southernmost part of this level. He leads you back actually past the goblins, who are like, "Hey guys, who's that? Is that the guy you were looking for?"
It is, and I think we killed a big one, and I throw like the Alpha Grix tentacles to him.
Oh, hey, great.
Okay. Now you can tell Brodak did a real good job.
Oh, hey, thanks. That's awesome, man. Really appreciate it.
I relay that to everybody and say you're welcome.
We did it for Zag.
Tohan, you get a chaos point for that. Because that's just ridiculous. So yeah, he's able to lead you guys back down through here, back down to this area. Kind of, come on, image, go farther south. Thank you. All the way down here, where you find in this area you find 3 of these, the same style of kenku that you saw before. Peering through the window, in the little window lit in the door, you can kind of see them, and they're in there sort of around a table. Volk, you notice the Stone of Galore is sitting clearly in plain sight on the table.
You're on mute, Rob.
Sorry, thanks. I turn to the team and I say, "That's what we're here for." And I gesture towards the stone.
Let's do a quick Arcana check and just make sure this isn't some wizard trick.
I'm rushing in, so.
You want an Arcana check?
So while you
I don't
guys are Arcana checking, Tohan is rushing in through the door.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm
What
following.
do I roll a 1d4 for the advantage, right?
For the
That's
for
guidance.
guidance, if Dave's giving you guidance.
I say, and I chase in Tohan and Venadia.
Come on, they got
I got
hollow
a
bones.
22 for my Arcana check, if that matters.
Okay. Yes, you would recognize that this is the Stone of Galore that Lariel described to you.
Nice.
With that Arcana check, do I sense any magic that I have to be concerned about in the room?
In a second. I don't believe so.
Cool.
Check my NPC.
Alright, let's go get the stone. I yell, the stone is real!
Get that rock.
Alright, so one of the Kenku looks as you rush in the door and he goes, "Rat! Murder lizard!" And the other one says, "Rat! Save the stone!" They all kind of begin rushing about, trying to grab their things and get ready for this oncoming onslaught. Go ahead and roll me initiative, I guess.
Oh my god. Terrible initiative rules. Terrible.
22.
6.
16.
It's 5 right here.
Oh, loser.
I'm straight up
Alright,
2.
I heard Gil 22, and then I heard a bunch of numbers.
Nice.
Sorry, Valk, what'd you get?
6.
6. Maggie,
2.
2. Arianth,
7.
7. Tohan,
16.
16. Venadia.
5.
Alright, so Gilfoyle, you're up first.
Okay, coming for a double attack. A 10, I'm assuming, is going to miss.
A 10 does miss.
And a 17 will hit.
17 does hit.
16 total.
Okay. He's still standing. He looks bloodied.
Okay.
Tohan was right. They have hollow bones.
They have hollow bones.
Alright. So that was 2 hits. Anything else? If not, it will be Tohan's turn.
I just want to rush to be near the stone.
Okay.
Even if I have to take an attack of opportunity to do that. I'm not sure.
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I have 40 feet of movement. I have.
Okay, so that gets you to within about 10 feet. We'll say the stone is in this bottom right corner right there, and you can get to about there from the doorway.
Okay.
So you're within combat range of all 3 of these Kenku that are standing there with their thumbs in their asses.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they can't just grab the stone and run without at least provoking an attack of opportunity from me.
Yep.
And then I'm going to rage.
Okay.
And then attack them recklessly. Great Weapon Master.
All right. I feel like this is going to be really bad for these birds.
Probably going to be really bad for the birds. 21 to hit in the first one.
That's a hit.
That is 13 plus 10 because Great Weapon Master and 2 more because I'm raging. So 25 damage.
Yeah, that kills. I'm assuming you're going for the wounded one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, that kills him.
All right. So when I kill someone doing Great Weapon Master, I get to immediately attack again with it.
This is like that thing in Killer Instinct where you get the 38 hit combo before the other person hits the button.
It's 16 to hit on the second attack.
That is a hit.
Okay. That is 26 damage.
He's still alive.
Well, We'll see what happens when I hit him with this natural 20.
He's probably gonna die.
Holy crap.
That is 26 more damage.
Jesus, yeah, he's dead.
Murder lizard, Jerry. Murder lizard.
I'm just like breathing heavy, like Brock Sampson, like. And that's my turn. Yeah, I get to attack 3 times, and I rage for my bonus action.
All right. Let's see who's up next. That is Ariane. That looks like.
All right, so we have one left undamaged.
There is one Kenku standing there directly in front of the stone, in between Tohan and the stone. Yep. And I sort of assumed everybody sort of rushed in at the same time too. So.
Yeah, I definitely moved in there. Ready. I will cast Maximilian's Earth Grasp on the bird to keep him in place.
Okay.
So we'll have to do a strength check.
All right. That is 17 plus 1. 18.
He broke it.
Okay. So yeah, he's able to kind of just kick and tear his way out of the earth as it comes up, trying to grab at him. Little birdie flaps with his weird feather hands. Anything else?
Yeah, as a bonus action. Give me 1 second, sorry.
No worries.
I am going to spend 3 sorcery points and magically summon a Hound of Ill Omen, a modified dire wolf, and target place it right in front of that bird guy, so he can't. Also has me in that in front of him, so he can't run off.
The bird just sees this wolf form in front of him, snarling, drooling. Rah! He's totally scared shitless now. Make a morale check for him, actually. Right. Can't give it up. Xanathar will kill me. And she's still trying to grasp at this stone, get it in his clutches. Does it get an attack on the first turn?
I'm reading that right now. It says the Hound appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within 30 feet of the target. Roll initiative for the Hound. On its turn, it can move only towards a target by the most direct route, and it can use its action to only attack its target.
Okay, so assuming.
But it can also make opportunity attacks.
Gotcha. All right. So here, just to make it easy, I'll do a quick roll for that. 16, so we'll plug him in right after Tohan.
And it also says, additionally, while the Hound is within 5 feet of the target has disadvantage on saving throws against any spells I cast.
Okay, cool. That's a cool spell.
Yeah, it was I got it when I leveled up.
Nice.
It's not even a spell, it's just a feature I get.
A feature? Oh, that's cool. Of your specific class.
The sorcery points are neat.
So, I assume that it's, everybody else sees this Hound, and they're all kind of looking at you like, why didn't you do this before? That's really cool. Wow.
I say, hey, I look at everybody and shrug. I said, I just learned this.
Okay. Next up would be Valk.
Am I in combat range
Yeah,
of these remaining bird creatures?
Yeah, you can get to the last guy pretty easy now. He's pinned between the wall and a wolf and Tohan. And
Okay, I'm going to approach him, and I'm going to take a couple swings with the longsword.
Okay.
Uh, 13, hit or miss.
That is a hit.
10 damage.
Okay. He takes 10 damage.
And an 8 is probably a miss.
8 is a miss.
Okay. That's it, but I'm just keeping on top of him because I don't want him moving. We have the stone in our grasp, so I'm just going to try to surround the fuckers.
Mr. Fair, I believe you're on mute.
Oh, yep. Thank you. I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3 here again. We got 17 with the scimitar.
That's a hit.
18 with a short sword.
Also a hit.
And then a 7.
That's a miss. First 2 hits.
So let's see. 3 damage and another 3 damage.
6 all day. Alright, he looks bloodied now. And at this point, the bird says, "Rack, please, please, I have eggs. Let me live. I was just doing a job. Rack."
Yeah, let's kidnap the bird. I think that's useful.
Brock, I have a nest to go home to. Rack.
The bird certainly probably has some useful information for us at the very least.
Yeah.
The bird's a thief, so.
What can you tell us if we let you go back to your nest?
Rack, what do you want to know?
Who are you taking this to?
Taking it to the boss. Rack, Xanathar.
While these guys are talking, Zach, I'm going to grab the stone. And not because I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he gonna do with it?
Rack, don't know. Rack, don't get paid to ask questions.
Where is your boss?
Rack, Skullport.
Vanity, you still got those manacles?
I do. I slap them on.
All right, and then I run the pockets of all 3 of these bird people.
Alright, Tohan, what's your passive perception?
13.
What is it?
13.
Okay. Alright, so you don't notice until you feel a sharp pain in your side. The bandit that you guys had been having escort down here snuck up behind you, and somehow he must have grabbed a dagger off from one of these Kenku, and he's slid it into your ribs. Let's see, so it's gonna be 4 damage, so 10 piercing damage you take.
Ow. Can I vomit acid at him again?
Yeah, sure.
Not because it does a lot of damage, just because I think poetically it's a lot more fun.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
It's a DC 13 dex save, or he takes half damage.
Okay. He's rolling a +2 dex. He got a 19 + 2, 21.
Oh, I do 3d6 now because I'm 6th level.
Half damage and 3d6 then, right?
Okay, so he takes 5 damage.
So like you kind
Acid damage.
get him on.
Wait, this is our prisoner bandit. He just spit acid on him. Is that right?
Well, no, not the Kenku, the one that we saved out of the closet. That
No. Yeah, no, I know.
That
That's what
just
I
like shiv me. So
Yeah,
he
okay.
So he takes 5 total. That's halved already.
Yep.
There was 10 damage half. So
Okay, so he takes 5 damage. He is at this point bloodied because he was still suffering damage from before. But now he bolts for the door and he gets just outside the door.
can I hit him before he runs or no?
Yeah, do we get an attack
any of us?
advantage, like an opportunity attack?
He passes Valken Venadia.
Yeah, I'm definitely swinging at that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm swinging my fists at the fucking guy.
Go for it, guys.
All right.
Where am I?
Oh, cool. 25.
I got a 16.
Okay, both hit.
All right.
And that's 4 damage automatic.
And I got 7.
Okay, so both of you guys, just as soon as he goes to run, you just lay him out. He's cut down. He's dead.
Boom.
One less criminal in the
We
world.
already ran his we already ran his pocket, so there's not much to get off of him. By the way, I go and grab some of the feathers off the birds just to see if maybe they'll be useful as an ingredient.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna pray a little bit, and then I'm gonna cast Cure Light on Tohan.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to save your spell, Bulk, I can toss him that healing potion I made earlier.
I mean,
Oh, do that instead.
Maggie can do
I'm
an incredible
okay.
amount of healing, so yeah.
I'm like
don't-
I'm 1/7 of the way down. I'm okay. I have probably more hit points than everyone else. So, we can just maybe take a short rest, and I could use a hit dice.
No, Maggie's got so much healing power. Like, if anybody ever needs healing, hit me up. we almost never get damaged enough for it to be worth it. But like,
Yeah. All right,
heal
that's
you.
fine.
I can heal you plenty.
I
do
didn't
you
know
want?
that was a big chunk of your hit points. To be honest with you, so okay.
So
Do you want heal?
I only got hit for 10. Yeah.
Okay.
How many hit points do you have? I don't know.
I have my 71 is my max.
Oh.
Yeah, I wrote D12s for hit dice. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So at this point,
'cause
when the Kenku is now standing there like rigid because he just watched you spit acid on a guy and then cut him to shit. So he's now like on best behavior. He's just standing there. Plus he's all manacled and shit. You hear a voice that pops out, kind of out into the open. Oh, Reggie, it's been so long. And at this, Reginald says, I'm sorry. Who's there? It's me, Galore. He says, oh. And that's where I want to leave you guys.
did I find anything in the Kenku's pockets or anything like that?
He had a dagger on him.
Okay.
The other two also had daggers. Each of them probably had 10 gold coins, we'll say.
All right.
I add one of the daggers to my collection. It goes in the bag.
Third.
So
You can
yeah,
have all three if you want. I mean, I'm already carrying 2 personally.
that reminds me of
I'm
the
already-
old.
I'm carrying 3 now.
I don't know if you remember the Eye of the Beholder games on like Super Nintendo and the old school like. It was always like daggers. You took like all the daggers because you could always
Yes.
throw daggers with everybody. So you'd have like just your entire back row just threw daggers.
Yeah.
I had Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Eye of the Beholder 2 with
Yep.
the cube. Yeah,
Yep. They made
I
3
think
of
I
them.
downloaded that for good old games and have it again, and I
Yep.
still can't get very far.
They actually made a third one that I didn't know about, and then I got it. Same thing. I downloaded it from like an old DOS Wares site. I was like, wow, really? I didn't know they made a third one. But
Yeah, I usually run into the spiders on the second level and then I die.
there's a
Yeah,
whole
those
series
games
of
they
those.
make them super hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
the gold box games were great, like all those old ones. So yeah, that's you guys kind of end the session in possession of the Stone of Galore, and as it turns out, the Stone of Galore might have some stuff to tell you itself. But we'll save that for next time because we can do it all back at the Yawning Portal when you bring it back upstairs.
Nice.
Excellent.
I asked Guilfoyle for an orange.
There's always an orange available.
Yes.
I asked Volk for the actual orange part since he's only going to eat the peel.
Whatever.
Do you need
weirdo.
oranges for any of your spell components?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fruit.
assuming. I'm assuming that you're not going to eat
I
this.
actually was just going to eat it.
All right,
I will
weirdo.
save the seeds as a spell component.
I give Arianth the sweet fruit and I shake my head in disgust.
All right, I'm gonna eat the orange and save the orange seeds.
I asked Tohan to draw me like one of his French girls.
Okay. I do so. Hold on.
So,
Oh, that's a natural 19. That's a dirty 20. That's for performance. I draw
Nice.
pretty good.
nice.
Nice.
So the the windows in the room fog up.
Yes.
The handprint, but
A
it's like a lizard
lizard
handprint,
hand
like
wipes it away.
streaking down the.
That's that's where the scene ends. It just fades to black slowly.
Yeah, it's racy but classy.
Right.
Yeah, so just so you guys are aware, like literally while I was prepping today, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and give them at least 3 options from these different books. Option 1, look for clues in Waterdeep. Option 2, utilize their Power Stone. Option 3, go do some other shit.
Technically, this was
All
option
right,
3.
That was option
Yeah.
3.
We went with option 3.
What's wrong with option 3?
It's so funny. It is like, I've heard this online, that it is like the DM's curse, that if you have a sandbox game, then no matter what you do prep for, your party will choose to do something else. And I'm like, I'm totally noticing that.
I will just tell you that in the Strahd game, which you guys will be coming up, I had some people in stocks in the town square, and it was like clearly a clue that you could like investigate, see why they're in stock, something like that. Nope, party members walked right past it, just kept going. I was like, okay, cool, all right. So, stuff happens now, because you didn't investigate.
Yeah.
And it's always like ad-libbing
I don't
what
remember
players
hearing
do.
that part.
No. This is the last time I ran it. You
Oh.
guys haven't gotten to that yet. You're close to it. So I'm not giving anything away yet. But guys in stocks, you'll start to look. But I was just amazed at the stuff that was getting ignored by that a party member wants to go to the hat store, and I'm like, to buy a pirate hat or something. I was like, what?
Yep.
That's true, Zach. I don't remember being in any haberdasheries yet. So.
Well, I know that there's one in the town that you guys are in because the last campaign I ran had one because I had to for a player.
Nice.
I only recently learned what a haberdashery was.
And that's what 45 minutes of a session became.
Yep. But you know what? The way that I look at it is
Sorts
like,
of clothing and sundries there.
yeah, it matters more that everybody's enjoying themselves and laughing about shit to me than it does. Like, obviously, the story progressing is like the overall goal of the game, but like how you get there is just as important. So
that's why that kind of curio magic shop I added in the beginning, that first town, was there just for like shits and giggles. Here's some magic items that are also somewhat cursed, and here you can f around with them.
yeah, and then somehow
I play the lottery to die,
and then I still managed to wind up with one, even though I didn't get anything there. I wind up with a cursed axe. I love that cursed axe. That's such a good item, especially for that character.
There's still a player who has not found out what his item does yet, and it's Paul, and I can't wait. He's gonna be mortified when he finds out. I'm just waiting for him to use it.
So you guys, in Bill's
the
game,
sacrificial dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Bill's game, he gave me an axe for my paladin, and the axe has the added benefit of every time that I get hit, I basically Hulk out and go berserk and try to kill everything in the room. So that's fun. Because
I didn't give it to you. The party chose you to have it.
The party chose me to have it. They were like, "Hey, you should use this axe," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah. Which is funny because my character's also kind of a dick to begin with. Like, he just does stuff. He doesn't really think things through at all. Like, I kicked the door in.
Yeah, I don't think Tina's too happy when you kick the door in.
I love it. I love kicking the door in. It's the best thing ever.
In that case.
I actually watch those Ravenloft, the Strahd videos while I'm doing like troubleshooting at work. And Bob Belcher, Zach?
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody picked up on it. I'm so glad. Yep, Robert Belche. He's the Burgermeister.
Nice.
That one door, there was a sleep potion tied to the door, and it was a trap, and everybody failed to check to see the trap, and so people were kind of deciding what to do because there was this other things laying around that were kind of red herrings, just vials of oil sitting there, and the players were like, oh, maybe we need to burn the oil, all this stuff like that. Nope, Zach just goes up, kicks the door, breaks open the potion, then the thief goes up to try and disarm the lock, and he gets 5,000 years of sleep. And this is a guy who checks for traps at every door. And I just was like, man, now the door got kicked. You heard a glass break. Now you don't know what, he goes up, checks the door. Oh, he fails to save. You're down.
It's like the funniest thing to me to be reckless because in real life I'm kind of cautious about almost everything. Like I think things through so much in real life that it's nice to be in a game where I can just be like, yeah, I just do stuff. I don't know, whatever feels good. Sure, fuck it, I might die.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things will start to get
play
worse.
yourself.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my take on it. It's like, why would I role play the same way that I live real life? You know, like
Totally.
it's more fun to be crazy and weird and just do whatever.
I usually look at two different types of games. There's like the serious role-playing games that I get into and I really get into my character and then I'm very serious about it. And then there's Guilfoyle, who it's like, yeah, I'm just here to fuck around and I'm not, like, yeah, there's a story and that's great and all, but like, whatever, I'm just here to have a good time and, fuck around with people's characters.
Yeah, same.
Hey, this is all truly a learning experience in a sense for me as far as playing a real long D&D campaign.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of the more regular campaigns that I've played. Like I very rarely have been able to get a campaign going every week like this. And without fail pretty much have a session every week or at least every, miss one maybe here or there, but like it's been a long time since I've gotten something like that going, which is really nice. It's been awesome. And hopefully the plot arc eventually comes all the way back to you guys killing this fucking Lich Lord, because that's the goal. I hope nobody dies before you get to a certain level at least. Like if you guys die epically, then I'm all happy with that. But if you die and it's like a goblin killed you for no fucking reason, that's gonna be dumb. So
Well, maybe the experience points we earn are really just the memories we make along the way.
Jesus.
and that's why we play milestones.
I do like the milestone leveling. So.
I like
it makes so much more sense.
Maybe like waiting for monsters is just like, I guess we have to kill this one to get to the next level.
Yeah, I'm not playing D&D to grind.
3 points shy. Give me that rat.
Yeah, hurry up. I'm going to stab a bird.
There's the old D&D where coins also counted as experience. So like each gold coin you gained was experience. So you'd kill a monster, you had to find the loot because that's where the experience really was.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
gets
didn't get very much experience for killing. Like an orc in basic D&D is worth like 15 experience points, but to get to like level 2, you have to have 2,000 experience points or something. It's like
and you split that 15 by every player.
Between everybody,
15
exactly.
each.
Yeah, so if there's 5 players in your group, you each get 3 experience for killing an orc, which at level 1 was fucking hard to do.
And there was no story experience.
Yeah,
there was no story experience at all. Like there's no moving the story arc along, which is what I like to do. The only problem I have with it is so like Strahd is deadly, and so if a player dies, well, what's the penalty then? You just bring back a character the same level, basically. So some people figure that out and start playing characters like they don't care if they die or not.
I like the idea that if a character dies, if you want to roll a new character, you should roll at 1 level less, personally.
Because, I thought about that, but then it's like you gotta like manage
some kind of penalty.
Yeah,
I agree, and then there's always managing that penalty. Like, well, when do you make that level up? Because you are milestone. At some point, do you just go, okay, well now you've been behind for 3 levels, now you get 2 levels to catch up or something?
Or does it average out when the other players eventually die?
Well, it seems like Strahd could be real hard about that too, because Death House, like someone can just die.
Yeah.
Like
that windmill, we could have all died.
Bill, have you actually killed anyone yet in the Strahd? I've not.
No, I was very nice at the windmill. Could have killed them.
You were very close. I watched some of those videos. I'm like, how are these characters still kicking? It was wild.
I don't even.
The windmill
like the
should have been.
I keep hoping Bill does kill my character.
Yeah, you don't seem the hunter type, Nick.
Well, what's great is that you're in the land of Ravenloft, so that your spirit, your soul doesn't actually leave. It just kind of gets recycled, and you get recycled back in the same body, maybe. And it's a roll of a die to see what happens, what you come back with. Some kind of affliction. You might come back as a wight and attack the party right away, or you might come back with some stats missing or affinity for flesh. Who knows?
Like iZombie.
Yeah, I have a whole chart that I roll actually for any player deaths, and I'm actually surprised I haven't used it yet.
Yeah,
I really want to multi-class over to Rogue in that game, but
I have slowly been developing like a divine intervention system for this campaign in the event that somebody does get freaking killed or that there is like a TPK or something, because I'm like, I gotta have something so these characters can keep going. But there's got to be a penalty, and I think the penalty is going to be more like if you guys all die fighting a big bad monster, because it's very unlikely in my game that you'll die like fighting 3 Kenkus. You know what I mean? Like you're also running through material that is designed for slightly lower level characters, but you're kind of speed running it. So it's like playing a video game on easy to some extent when you're doing that part. And then when there's like a serious plot monster, I try to make it a little tougher, make it something that could actually threaten all of you guys. However, I'm not great at balancing stuff, so
5e is very hard to balance for,
Yeah.
and what I found is that you really can dial up the amount that players can deal with. So I add feats to my monsters and things like that,
Yeah.
and I give them, tactical ideas.
Yep.
So here's some of my deaths. It's a d6 roll. One is monstrous return. The character returns as a white and immediately attacks. There's no benefit to that. Withered flesh, maximum hit points reduced by 5, but you get resistance to necrotic damage.
That's cool.
Walking Dead is speed reduced by 10, but when dying, stabilize after 1 successful death save. Not quite all there is you get a d6 for all initiative rolls. That's it, not a d20. But you get advantage on being charmed. There's another one that's possessed by a Baalite spirit, which is on a natural 1. You attack a random ally, but you get advantage against being frightened. And another one is Undead Affinity, must succeed a DC 10 Charisma saving throw to attack undead, but the benefit is undead avoid attacking you whenever possible because they see you as undead. And I'd probably add that paladins would then register you as undead too.
Cool. I've seen mechanics that are kind of like that. Like I don't know if you've played Darkest Dungeon, like the video game.
I very briefly.
So they have these mechanics that are like it's like a despair or I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. Sort of, it's sort of like what I do with the good and evil points in this, or the law and chaos points. It as you progress through the dungeon, it gives you these like conditions like despair or something like that, or like fear. But once you overcome it, then you get a boon from it. And I've seen similar mechanics for D&D where it's like a card set and it'll have one bane and one boon. And that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, like a sanity system too.
Yeah, same idea. Yep.
Hey, the last session I was really hoping you guys were going to attack the headmistress of the orphanage. I was really hoping that. I'm like, yes. About it. The whole Strahd campaign is, can we push the players to be evil? Can we get them to be evil bastards and then realize it? And in my last campaign, it worked really well. It was great. But I don't know. I won't ruin anything else coming up.
See, I like it because my character in that game he's chaotic good, but like to him, good just means kill Strahd. That's all that good really means to him. So like any means necessary is kind of okay. Like that's sort of the whole idea that he's got is like, whatever. And like if he has fun along the way, cool. But if not, no big deal. Well,
all right. I'll see you guys Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care, guys.
See you guys Tuesday.
Take care,
and I'll see
guys.
the rest of you guys on Sunday. Thanks for playing.
Night.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.